Hello, everyone, welcome. I am RxOliver, and these are my friends, and we're playing Call of Cthulhu. I'm here with Martin, David, and our games master, our keeper of arcane lore for the evening, Birdie. Take it away, Birdie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We're going to be having a lot of fun today. Hopefully, this game doesn't end in 5 minutes because for today, all of our players here are going to be playing adorable little old people. Because we're going now to an almshouse. The year is 1925. It's been decent weather, but storms are now starting to come in. Today wasn't that bad. The sun was nice, gentle, golden glow. There were birds chirping, and then the thunderstorm kicked in, but that's okay. There's still a soft breeze. It's carrying the scent of freshly made bread, as this almshouse provides all food for its residents on the premises. It even has a garden where you can get some vegetables. Although right now, everybody is in the commons area because there's been something going on that has to be addressed. So Mr. Peng, who is in charge of all of the orderlies, has called everyone together, along with Mrs. Langley, who is in charge of essentially everything, to include Mr. Peng, to address what's been happening. Bodies have been going missing. Now, death is very natural. People at the end of their lives tend to meet with death, period. So it's not uncommon for residents to enter the almshouse and not exit on a gurney. And that's the problem. A couple of residents have passed away, and when the morgue came to pick them up, there was no body to pick up. Now, Mr. Peng in the mortuary has been trying to claim that there's just been a clerical error, bodies were picked up, but the residents aren't that convinced. Those of sound mind. But now it's becoming a bit more of an issue as you've reached up to 5 bodies that have supposedly disappeared. Nobody knows what's going on. You can get a sense that Mr. Peng is starting to get quite alarmed right now. Oddly enough, the last person to pass, Mrs. Dawson, her body was left and was able to make it to the local cemetery, which is actually on the premises. That might be why her body stayed, but who knows. But you're all gathered together right now as Mr. Peng is getting ready to address the group.
Okay.
He's attempting to call everybody together, get their attention, as he just simply states, I understand that there's been some confusion and rumors going about. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. At the Arkham Almshouse, we want to ensure that everybody here is treated with the utmost dignity. This talk of missing bodies, grave robbers, that is not a thing that is happening here. It's just simply paperwork has been messed up. There's new workers at the morgue who have not been properly filing paperwork. I assure you that your peers have been making it to their final resting grounds. Anybody that still has any concerns can see me after. I just wanted to make sure that we were all on the same page with this. So just please go about your days. Do not worry. Mr. Jenkins, gotta stop hiding knives underneath your pillow. You will cut yourself, sir. Okay?
I have a question, if that is possible.
Yes, Father.
Who administered the last rites to all the people who have passed to the beyond?
So their
I have
churches
certainly
were
not done it.
No, Father, you are retired. So we contacted their churches, and they had representatives come from those churches to provide their last rites.
I see.
Does anybody else have any questions? This is an open floor.
I still say it's the devil box we invited into this almshouse.
At this point, you
I
see.
mean, I'm gonna ask I'm gonna ask if they've lodged the complaint with the police because missing bodies and all, like 5 bodies just disappearing. I know you're saying it's paperwork, but you've told the police, right? In case something nefarious is going
In
on.
case somebody's robbing graves, have you actually told the police?
Yeah, or has it been reported as a possible crime, or is it reported as something going missing?
We
Now-
had the police come.
Here's
They
a
checked the
above the
premises.
table question. Is that a missing person or missing property when a body goes missing?
It's classified as missing remains, human remains, which would be closer to a person going missing versus property.
Mm-hmm.
Agree.
So important then.
Still important. As Mr. Peng puts up a hand, one question at a time. Initially, the police were called just to help assist, ensure that nothing was going on. However, this does really truly seem to be a clerical issue with the morticians just properly, or rather not properly, putting their paperwork in order. So a call was sent out to the police initially. However, they do not believe that they need to be involved with the situation. Everybody roll me psychology.
I don't understand how a clerical error can lead to 5 bodies going missing. This is ludicrous. This is ridiculous. What's this guy's name?
Mr. Peng.
Peng.
We got a success. Oh, fumble.
Oh dear. First roll of the evening for Oliver's a fumble.
All right, I'm gonna tuck that fumble away. So Harold, you're getting the sense that Mr. Peng, he's not taking this situation serious at all. You think that he's just placating people, which is kind of unlike him, but given the topic, you're not really sure what's going on. This man has no control over what's happening.
Where was this man educated? What school and what university did Peng go to?
You know what, Mr. Harold Montgomery, or rather Professor Harold Montgomery, you're
Thank
not
you.
entirely sure. You don't believe Mr. Peng has an education, but you do. And can you please go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Professor Harold Montgomery. I retired now, university professor of numerous subjects. I have numerous degrees. An educator of people from all over the world and the most important subjects in the world. And they put me here because my family are a bunch of bastards. There's nothing wrong with my mind. I'm not crazy. I'm not infirm. I shouldn't be here. And I'm not too happy about being here, but this is where I am, so I have to deal with it. And these people and their lack of education.
Perhaps you now have a new demographic that you could instruct. However, Mr. Peng does not appear to be one of them. As you look at this man who, although he is speaking with authority, you just don't believe anything that he's saying. However, Miss Margaret Dunlap, you have been dealing with people your entire life. You know how to read faces. You know how to hear what's behind somebody's words. And when he mentioned the police, you sense some true frustration in Mr. Peng's voice. You get the sense that he went to the police and they were not helpful at all. Mr. Peng is not one who gets frustrated easily, so you can surmise that he probably had a very, very frustrating argument, most likely, with the police, and they still chose not to intervene. Miss Margaret, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're so good at reading people?
Oh yeah. Margaret Dunlap is 68. She is a retired nurse. Pretty sure she probably helped nursing in the First World War, and then continued afterwards. But now she's a little bit old. Unfortunately, her dear husband Jonathan has gone, so she doesn't really have anyone, and her 2 nephews who meant the world to her died in the war. So she's not really got anyone left. But she still acts like a nurse, trying to look after everyone else in the home. But she's quite frail and quite slow. But she's got a sharp mind. She's basically like Jessica Fletcher, but 1920s version. So she's always snooping around. But a lot of people die around her, but they know it's not her. She's just trying to figure it out. So
I love that
fine.
she's still looking after people like a nurse. That's just like
Yeah.
Harold. Harold still teaches lectures, classes for the whole of the people, all the residents here in the Almshouse. In fact, it's the most popular activity at the Almshouse, and everybody loves it, and nobody ever misses a lesson. And I'm everybody's favourite person.
It seems that it's
I mean,
something we
that's-
all have in common. Because I too
mean,
care
all
for
I-
the people of this almshouse.
I just know that those 5 people went to visit your lecture and they died in the lecture, so I think maybe it's not that interesting.
No, that's not true. Those claims were unfounded.
Well, I just want to
I
point
know.
out that that professor, pardon me, Professor
Professor,
Montgomery
thank
does
you.
provide a lecture every day. So there is a heightened chance of someone passing while he is speaking. That
Exactly.
being said, the Reverend is always nearby. Reverend, could you also tell us why you're here and not at the church?
Well, mostly clergymen, they do not retire at the almshouse, but I've decided to stay close to my flock and guide and support them in their final years upon this earth before they pass on to heaven. Now, the church wasn't very happy about this decision, but eventually they agreed and they allowed me to stay here. Many people of the almshouse turn to me for spiritual advice and for comfort. However, these days I'm not really finding the words as my mind starts to falter and I can't recall some prayers or names of saints. I even once said that Jesus came from Belgium, apparently. So,
Yeah.
so I know that in my heart, I still have my faith, but my mind is faltering. And, well, I'm really intrigued about the recent events after I saw one of the residents, Jeremiah, dying during dinner from a heart attack. So I know for a fact that he didn't die in Mr. Montgomery's lecture.
And actually, as this is happening, and you're all taking this in, Professor Montgomery is questioning Mr. Pang's competency in the matter. Ms. Dunlap, you're very sympathetic to what's happening. Reverend, you happen to catch, or rather, somebody catches your eye as you see within the group a man, Federico, is looking at you imploringly, indicating that he wants to speak with you.
Well, I rise from my chair and I move towards this man in all discretion.
He leans over and whispers as best he can. None of you have good hearing. Just want to point that out. But he leans over to whisper professional style.
Let me check my listening score. Maybe I do. I don't know. I've not.
If we all got a
checked,
listen
I
of
might be
12,
really
because we're
sharp.
old, our ears don't work.
No, hey, I've got my listen 65. She just
Oh,
fakes
fuck.
it. She
My-
has that thing like my real dad.
Mine's is 30.
Well,
My ears
when
are
he che-
gone.
when he
My
just
ears are
cheats-
gone, mate. It's okay because
No,
I don't
she
need to listen to
pretends
other
be deaf
people.
when she talks to the man.
As long as people can listen to
Yeah,
other
I'm
other
fine.
people can listen to me, I don't need to listen to other people. As long as other people can listen to me, it's fine. So it doesn't matter if my hearing goes, as long as my talking's good.
I pretend I can't hear for the lectures. I'm like, what? I'll have to go. I can't hear you, but I can hear it, and I just go and do something else.
Well, Federico, he attempts to whisper to you. There is a demon here, Father. There is a demon here, and it's been taking bodies.
A demon, you say? Have you seen it?
I did. I saw it. She was a witch. She was a witch,
witch.
Father. She was a witch, and she brought it here.
A witch is here in the almshouse.
At which point, Mrs. Langley turns her head over to where you two are and gives Federico a look before she walks over. And she doesn't whisper at all. She says it quite plainly because Federico was not as softly spoken as he thought he was. but she states, there are no witches here. It's not 1812, Federico.
Well, what we know to be a witch might be someone dabbling in the occult. It is something we should investigate. It is something I personally will investigate.
And Mrs. Langley, she turns to you, Father, and says, Father, the only thing you will be investigating will be tonight's game of bridge. Is that understood?
I suppose that is how the situation has to be for now. But if I catch even a whiff of unholy practices here, the occult practices, I will not hesitate to contact my church.
If you find anything untoward in this place, you should absolutely contact me first, and then whoever you like after.
I still say we have to remove the devil box, the radio you called, that we recently added to the Almshouse. It is bringing unholy presence here. I am certain of it.
Birdie, I would like to try to listen in on that conversation, and I've rolled a hard success on listen despite my ears being fucked. So can I have heard that when I noticed her talking to him?
You heard all of it.
Okay, thank you.
Me too.
Oh, check you out. You still got your ears. You've got a 65. Mine are fucking gone, mate. 30. What's my spot heading? How's my eyes?
I mean,
I
That's
will
just because-
say
I've still
there
got
is a
my
different
eyes.
mechanic here. If your character wears glasses, go down to the bottom of your sheet. You will see that there is a second spot hidden.
This
that you
Additional
utilize
skills.
when
This
you do not have your
spot headed
glasses.
without glasses. This is racist, Birdie.
I don't have glasses.
racist, really?
Ageist.
Racist.
This is glassicist.
Ageist.
Yeah.
Glassicist.
Yeah. Oh, I
Wow,
can't
my
believe you've done
character's
that to us.
fine.
That is, you've done us dirty there. Spot headed without your glasses. 25. Fuck you. That is brilliant.
You've had a lifetime of reading. What makes you think you still kept your eyes?
I hate life. I hate my eyes. The optician says I can not get cool frames anymore because the lenses are too thick to fit in cool frames. That's me I'm talking about, not Harold.
After she ordered me to pretty much just go play bridges tonight, I'll look if there's like a newspaper, and I'll grab a newspaper and just try to disappear in the background.
You try and disappear, and just for context, Mrs. Langley, she's in her late 40s. She's about 5'3". She's built like a boulder. Sounds a little bit like one too. Her voice is a bit more on the gravelly side. She is quite unmoving, but she does deeply care for the residents that are here, which is why she is so unmoving with the schedule. She fully understands that routine is important, especially for those who are losing the ability to keep track of time. And she understands that boredom is a killer of spirit. So as you attempt to get your newspaper and go hide, she blocks your path and angrily points towards a table that is set up with cards,
Ooh.
waiting for you.
I move towards the cards table in that case.
Langley is what we call a wee woman, Martin? She's a wee woman.
Got really sharp elbows.
Really sharp elbows, yes. A gravelly voice and sharp as fuck elbows. She's a wee woman.
Smells of cigarettes.
She is the reason that you all have the schedule that you have. All of your meals are at very specific times. Bedtime is at 10:05 p.m. sharp. The reason for the 5 was another individual, Robert Thomas, really argued to stay up later, so she gave an additional 5 minutes to everyone. But today is Wednesday, and today it is Bridge Day. So all of you are to be playing bridge.
I like a bit of cards, but I'm going to get a chance to talk to the Reverend because I overheard this conversation earlier with Langley.
A wise
So
decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a wee word with you while we're playing bridge, and I'm gonna think we're having a quiet word there, but actually I'm like, Reverend, because we're
Yes.
deaf, we're
What is
old
it,
people.
Mr. Montgomery?
I heard your conversation with Langley, the wee woman.
Mm-hmm.
There is something going on here. I don't know about a cult, but bodies don't just go missing.
They do not, and it is very strange that they are not on the Almshouse's cemetery. One of them is, right, Birdie?
That was the last person to die here who didn't, and she didn't go missing. But
Yeah.
she's buried here.
She's buried here.
Mrs.
It is
Dawson.
strange that they are not
Al-
buried here. so I
Allegedly,
agree.
she's buried. I bet none of
Yeah.
us saw the body go in.
Did we? Were we at her funeral?
Yes, you all were. You all watched as she was lowered into the ground. You definitely saw her body go in.
Did I administer her last rites?
You did. No one stopped you when you stepped forward, nor did she call for a
Okay.
priest.
Well, I know that witches are not a correct term to use, but the occult is definitely existing, and it is something we should look out for.
Who do you think? Who do you think around here would be interested in the occult? No one here intelligent enough to read books like that.
Well, that is the thing. The occult grasps the unintelligible. It is the simple of mind that are usually taken by
Weak.
such. Yes, the weak, exactly.
Mm,
The lost sheep that need to be returned to the flock. To the herd, I believe, not the flock.
no, it's flock.
As you're having this conversation, Reverend, please give me a dexterity.
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 I'm not very dexterous.
Is this to get
Is this because he took
To
one
get-
step? This is
get
if
in
you
and
feel
out
your
of the
hip,
chair?
his hip falls out. Your hip falls out. Oh no!
Every
R.I.P.
step
your
you
hip.
Oh,
It's
he's
okay.
dead. That's what happened. He just died.
I died playing cards.
I
Did you
just
like
want
get a paper cut, but like all your blood came out with the one paper cut?
players, so audience, just so you understand, once you hit a certain age in Call of Cthulhu, you actually start to take massive negatives to your stats.
You do.
Mhm.
Your intelligence goes up though, doesn't it?
Yes, intelligence and education are the only things that can go up. Everything else takes a hit.
So what's the best age then? Is there like a cutoff or that's it? Like
Our
what's
age.
the best age in Call of
Our
Cthulhu?
age.
20. 20.
Oh, like 40
20.
is 40.
No.
40.
Like our age, Martin, like 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to be younger in this game. Now that being said, Reverend, you hear a loud yowl as you accidentally step on the tail of a cat.
Oh, you clumsy
Is it
oaf.
the black cat?
No, this one's a calico.
Okay.
Like we're supposed to know what that means, you crazy cat lady. We don't all know what a calico is.
Isn't it like
Oh,
checkered
no,
one?
no,
We've
don't
no all
ask-
got 50 cats
no,
like
You
you,
know,
Birdie.
audience, you know what a calico is.
I don't know what a calico
Don't
is. I've not
ask
got
it,
50 cats.
Checkered cat.
If you ask a cat lady about that, she will pick one up.
She'll
and
hold
get
one
it and
up.
show
Aye,
it
this
on
is a
camera.
calico.
Yes, this is what I'm
Look, she's
talking
gonna get one.
about. You told ya. And if she doesn't have one in the house, she'll just go on the
Yeah.
street.
All right,
That's
okay.
what
That's a
I'm
tortoise
saying.
shell. That's tortoise shell we call that.
Okay.
Very cute. Any excuse to
Okay,
get
so
your
I
cat
step on
out.
that.
Tortoise
and-
shell is a type of calico.
Right,
Tortoise shell
okay.
refers to the calico patterning.
Do I
Okay.
remember this cat being like from one of the residents or something?
So here's a fun fact. Pets are not allowed in this almshouse.
Where did that one came from? I want to follow it.
Don't worry, you don't have to really move as you watch it run straight into the arms of Miss Clara Whitmore, who is glaring at you. This is an ungodly woman. She believes in letters over prayer. She says that she's a writer. And she is one of many who has a street cat that she feeds and also just brings into the almshouse. Animals are not uncommon to be seen being carried out by the staff. Although with the passing of Mrs. Dawson, you understand it's not going to be as eventful. Sometimes, in the middle of the day, you'll see the staff member hurriedly walking out an opossum or shooting out a raccoon that Mrs. Dawson allowed into the almshouse, as she dearly loves animals.
Who doesn't love animals?
She actually did say, what was that?
Oh, I was going to say, while they're playing cards, can I try and go to the nurse's station while they're playing cards and stuff?
Absolutely. Here, I'll bring you over to the map.
You get a map.
Oh, so he doesn't have to play bridges?
Nah, I'm basically kind of staff, I'm imagining. That's what I'm going to try and play.
I won't lie, the women are treated a little less harshly.
Oh, mean.
Yep,
Just constant discrimination, Mr. Montgomery.
It's constant with you. If it's no racism over glasses, it's that.
Oh, you're in the men's dormitory, that's going to be awful. Yeah, I'm glad I'm in the women's dormitory, not the one with you.
Women's dormitory looks fucking half a click wider as well, a couple of pixels wider, eh? Motherfuckers.
Yeah, because there's more dead old men.
What kind of communist bullshit is this? We are living in 1925.
And we have a reading and sewing room, and you guys have a hospital.
Are we being run by the godless Bolsheviks?
It sounds like it, mate. It sounds like it.
Fun fact, your almshouse is privately funded. Most of them are funded by the state or by the county. All of you, your stay is being funded from various organizations, but the Miskatonic University, the church, the hospital, even the police station. So everybody that's at this particular almshouse, some funding is being provided. There's a cat toy going off behind me. I'm so sorry.
Do you think it's because... So is that because, like, there's an ex-policeman here, so the police donate money to here, and there's an ex-fireman here, so the fire department donates money here, and like that kind of thing?
Yes, this is one of the ways that those institutions take care of their aging members if they no longer have family to take care of them.
Donations from, like, the organizations that worked with the people. I can see that.
So
yeah.
you're in a much better position than many of the other individuals that have to go to the almshouses, which are also called poorhouses.
I'm an educator. People hold me in a high esteem. I've raised thousands of young adults through their education. I've sharpened many thousands of young minds.
It's a shame that many of them had to perish, though, in the fields of Europe.
So I will say that, Professor, you're the reason why there's now a reading room. The Miskatonic provide a lot of books.
Yeah, in the women's bed, not in your bed.
It's open to everybody during the day.
It's so not. The women would make sure it's very uncomfortable for the men to go. Like, you wouldn't want to just creep in through.
It's comfortable. Don't listen to that. It is
bullshit,
open.
Fuck you. Whose side are you on?
Father, there is a room for prayer that they created specifically for you. You're actually the first clergyman to come into the almshouse.
Oh, okay.
It is where I also hold my Sunday services for the residents.
Yeah, so you actually get a little bit of special treatment as well.
I also teach...
Professor Montgomery, you're the only male that's allowed into the reading room after hours.
Of course. I teach theology classes on a Sunday, so often when people want real knowledge and real enlightenment after they've heard the ramblings of a holy man, they come to me.
And here I thought we were just playing bridges
again. He just does it because he wants to spy in the women's bathroom, which is very close to where his reading room is. So...
With those accusations, Margaret, what did you want to do?
That is scandalous, Martin.
Just saying, I know what old men are like in care homes. No, I wanted, because it already kind of says on my sheet, I would imagine, because she is helpful, that when they're short-staffed, they probably let Margaret help out a little bit, probably more than she should. So she wants to go to the nurse's station because I want to see if she can maybe talk to them and be like, "Oh, do you need any help?" But really, she's trying to look for if she can see any notes of like the names of the 5 people who died and what they died of. Like she's looking for like their notes, like if they've left anything on, like on the desk, or if she would know where she'd be able to get that easily. So she wants names and like the chart they have at the end of the bed, maybe. If they were all sick before they died, or if they just like died in the sleep, or had tuberculosis or something.
That'd be very easy for you to know. The woman that is normally there Monday through Friday to help assist with anything that's medical, Janet Chambers, she tells you everything. So,
Yep.
And the 5 just because you've been here for about 3 years, so you've learned most of the people that are here. There's Walter. Walter passed of a heart attack. Maggie, she passed in her sleep. Same did Jethro. Jeremiah unfortunately took a tumble in the garden, and he just did not recover from that. And Miss Ethel also appeared to have passed away in her sleep.
She's the one we buried.
And they've not all...
Ethel is the one we buried.
Yes, she's the one that made it to the graves.
There's no suspicious circumstances with any of those deaths.
No.
And there's no, and they've not all got like the last name, or they weren't like married, right? They're all like different last names.
Unrelated people.
Oh, none of them are
Yeah,
connected to each other. No, yeah, none of them are related to each other.
Yeah, I still want to try and get the medical records at some point though, because I reckon we might have something interesting on it.
A nursing home like
Because
this.
is there other doctors here? Because obviously they'd have to bring a doctor in to like do a death certificate, right? Or is it just nurses here?
So Janet,
like,
she's
doctor?
normally here, like I said, Monday through Friday. There is a doctor, Dr. Adler. He comes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to check on people, make sure everything's okay, adjust medications as needed. When they send the mortuary over to collect bodies, that's actually when they generate the certificates. It's not the right way of doing it. It's just a more easy way for everybody involved. Usually Janet will just put down the time that she could no longer get any signs of life, and then they'll generate the certificate based off of what she writes.
Oh, okay.
She's young, but she's a pretty competent nurse. And as I said, she talks quite freely with you.
A place like this, does it have a morgue?
Yeah, where's the morgue? Hospital wing?
So Margaret, you know where the
Kitchen?
bodies are kept.
Kitchen.
Kitchen. It's not a McDonald's, mate.
Kitchen.
You joke, but you're not too far off. It's underneath the kitchen.
Pantry.
It's underneath the kitchen.
Underneath the kitchen.
That's a
where
red-
they make the
that-
meat pies.
I may have played too many of
In
these
the
games,
help.
but that's a red flag for me.
The help is in the help room.
It's in the help room.
It's like, help, I'm dead. So no one ever goes
Is that
there.
what kind of help it means? It's help, I'm dead. It's not the help.
No, so there is a partial basement. There is a partial basement beneath this building. It does not span the entirety of the building, just the main portion, which also happens to include the kitchen. The boiler's down there, but there is a couple of there's 3 different entrances into that space, but they will put the deceased down there. And then the mortuary will come on the scheduled day, and they will come around back to where the shed is, because there's a door back there. And that's normally where they will take the remains and move them on.
When you say the basement is the main bit of the building, do you mean like that?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, the boiler's right underneath the kitchen.
That was a red flag, the morgue being underneath the kitchen. Sorry, it is.
So I want to point out, it's not a full-on morgue. It's what they call a resting place. It's just meant as a less than 24-hour holdover.
I wonder if there's one of those things in the kitchen, a dumbwaiter that goes down.
Just lower the bodies on that? No,
Just
there's no
lower the bodies.
dumbwaiter.
For them to send them up to the kitchen.
Unlike a lot of the other almshouses that are in this
Meatloaf
state,
Monday.
this particular one is only one story to help reduce the risk of falls.
Makes sense.
Is
I mean,
Miss
I'm gonna go.
Langley?
I'll
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll go over to the. I was gonna say I'll like do all that and then I'll come over to the guys to see what they're doing.
Yeah, is Miss Langley still watching over us, or is she moving on to other matters?
She's moving around. She watches over everybody, but she also has administrative things to do. After watching her, that once she sees everybody is gainfully employed, she will usually go back to her office.
And her office is over here, right?
Correct, right where she can pop out her head and quickly look up and down the halls to look at people.
Because we're here in the day room, I suppose.
So the two
Yes.
the 2 day rooms, are they a men's day room and a women's day room, or they're not separated like that? It's not 2 wings like that, or it is?
They are not separated until after 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., they try and keep everybody corralled on their side of the
Is that
building.
because the old folks get randy and try and...
Exactly.
No one talks about that.
Yeah.
No one talks about how much shagging goes on at an old folks' home. Because nobody wants to imagine
It's
Yeah,
old
have
folks
the highest
bumping
rate of
uglies.
STDs.
I heard that, actually, yeah. Thanks for reminding me of that. That's a great image.
So-
These cute little old people are dirty bastards.
I look over at Harold's, and then I point over at the office. She really does not want us to leave and investigate this.
No. But the man in front here, the man in charge of this place, Peng's, he's not an educated enough man to really know what he should be worried, that he should be worried here. Bodies don't just go missing, Reverend. We need
I
to
agree.
have us educated men and spiritual men should have a look into what's going on here.
I might be able to find out which church they were buried at, and I can try to, if there's a phone somewhere, I can try to contact the church.
Where they
and
were
see
supposed
if
to be
they're-
being buried, yeah.
Exactly. But I'll have to get access to first the records and then the office.
Reverend, please give me an intelligence roll, and Margaret, please give me a spot hidden. So, Reverend, this almshouse is unique. As I said before, it has a lot of private contributions to it. This is the only almshouse that has its own private cemetery, and it's actually quite new. Now, you weren't here when the decision was made, but you do know that Mrs. Dawson fought very, very hard to get a small plot approved by the city and placed on the grounds of the almshouse.
But that's only where Ethel has been buried.
Yeah, so that way all those who pass away here have the option of being interned there. And Mrs. Dawson was very, very forward when speaking with people, telling them that when it's their time to go, that they should have their remains stay on the premises.
So she was like trying to sell people a plot, even though it wasn't. She wasn't making. She wasn't even making any money. But she's trying to. She's promoting it. Like, you mean, like, oh, you should definitely get buried here if you die here.
She promoted it heavily. Yes. She never truly said why. She just simply stated it would just be best if people didn't leave the premises.
Big red flag.
Margaret, as you're walking by, you happen to accidentally bump into one of the orderlies. She's one of the housekeepers, and there is something very foul smelling coming from whatever she's holding, but you don't have a chance to see what it is because she's just walking by you too quickly.
It's the meat soup.
It's a jobby.
I'm gonna follow
So,
her.
David, I was thinking about it. When we need to like get a distraction for like when we're gonna go
Yeah.
investigate some shit, we could just roll luck for somebody over there shit in the pants.
Well, we could do something with the cat, couldn't we?
No, I mean we could easily just give somebody some extra laxatives and make somebody really shit their pants. We could cause a distraction that way.
That
You could
doesn't
just
sound
wait 10 minutes and
entirely
someone
ethical.
will shit the pants.
Or we
Someone
could
will
just
shit
wait
their
until
pants in
somebody.
10 minutes,
We could
yeah.
just wait
They'll-
until somebody shit their
Just-
pants.
it'll just
Yeah, you're
happen.
correct,
It'll
Martin. We
just
could just
And
wait,
pray it isn't us.
and we hope it's not us. Aye, we could just hedge our
Yeah.
bets. Just wait. Hold it, wait out until somebody shits their pants. Then that's the distraction we need.
You made it way too complicated. It's like waiting for the tide to come in. It will happen. You just have to wait.
Aye.
So, Margaret, you see the housekeeper, Eleanor. She turns and she goes, there's swinging doors that separate the kitchen from the hall. You see her go through there. You know that there is some type of laundry that can be done in the basement. You guess that she's probably going down there with whatever soiled item she has.
I'm gonna follow her, but I'm gonna like wink at the other two and hope that one of them's got their glasses on when I'm like winking at them. Like,
We'll have to roll for that, right?
Same basement where the morgue is. I've got my glasses on. I never take my glasses off.
What do
I'll
I
give
roll
you
to
a
see if he
wink and
winks?
hope-
If she winks?
So it will be a spot hidden, but it is mid-morning. There is kitchen staff in there. So Margaret, when you enter, there's a couple of people that look up, couple of guys, they see you, and they give you very friendly waves, and they ask if you need anything.
I never see nothing.
I'm like, oh yeah, I want one of them new coffees. You know, like from that they talk about on the radio. You know, one of them fancy ones. I'm basically trying to distract them. I'm like, you know what it is, and I'm not going to say the words so they think I'm a bit crazy. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? The fancy coffee is on the TV, and the celebrities drink on the radio. It's like, you
What
know
day
what I
are we, by the
mean,
way?
right?
What day are we, by the way?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay. Well, I
So
noticed that.
the doctor's gone. The doctor will
Yeah.
be here today as well.
Yeah, so the lead cook there, Jonathan, he gives you a smile, says, absolutely, Margaret, we'll make sure to give you a coffee. It's just, you know, you guys can't be back here, ma'am, just because we don't, heaven forbid, one of us bumps into you, you burn yourself, you're a nurse, you understand the injuries you can get in a busy kitchen.
Oh, I know. But my feet, my bunions are really bad. I'll just have a quick sit down here, and I'll sit down on a seat. I hope there's a seat I can sit down, or I'll just sit on the floor.
Well,
No, there's a chair that has a big pot in front of it that's filled with potato peels.
I'll move it and try and sit there.
the Reverend, he decides to leave the table of bridges and he tries to move past the office into the hallway.
I'm gonna follow you.
You're able to walk. You nobody pops their head out.
Okay. So now we're in the dining room, right? And we don't know that the morgue is underneath, or is it common knowledge?
It is not common knowledge.
Okay, it's not common knowledge.
But I'm not a
But
man.
I know. I came to talk to you guys, and I would have told you this though.
I'm a man whose knowledge levels are not common. I have extraordinary knowledge levels.
Okay. Are there any windows? Like, yeah, there are windows next to the kitchen, right? And what's the weather outside? Raining, stormy?
Storms.
Storms, okay.
It's pretty bad storms outside right now.
Okay. I look over at Harold. What now? We managed to get out of the game of bridges.
Didn't you catch Margaret winking at you? I didn't. So you
Yes, I did.
right? Are you following her? Because I
Well,
never
I believe
seen
she-
her. I never seen her wink.
I have seen her wink, but I don't know which way she went. So we're standing there in the dining room. We slowly walked after Margaret, and she's somewhere, and we don't know where she is.
So let's go looking for
This is
her.
where Margaret solves the whole adventure, and you guys just go for a poo for like 3 hours, and then she says, "I've got rid of Cthulhu, guys. Do you want to join? Or are you okay?"
No, let's go try and find her. Where do you think she went?
Well,
She's always speaking to the nurses. She probably went to the nurse's office.
yes, that's the matron's office, right?
I mean, you might hear me talking, but then you guys are deaf, right? So you might not hear me talking to the kitchen.
What?
As you were determining what direction to go in,
Can I
you
try and
hear,
listen out for her?
Well, you actually hear something else. You hear a scuffle and raised voices before a couple of voices start yelling for the father.
Go.
From which direction?
From the day room.
Oh, the other day room.
The opposite day room, yes.
Okay, well, I head over there immediately.
We've got tokens, guys.
You do have tokens. You're free to use those. Father, as you come in, you can see that there appears... To say fight would be a bold word. You can see that there's a couple of your peers who are locked in with each other. They're grabbing each other's clothing, their sweaters. You see one person has a pillow raised up, getting ready to strike down another. The women are all kind of like in the corner, yelling at the men to stop. You can see that there's several cats in this room just watching what's happening in the center. As one man turns, Alonso, he turns and sees you. Father, please, we need somebody to talk sense into Federico over here. Federico is the one that's holding the pillow and now swinging it wildly as he yells at everybody that they have to undo whatever the witch has done to this place.
Which witch?
I walk closer towards Federico. Please, settle down, friend. Remember, blessed be the peacemakers. You must lay down your pillow, otherwise you will only feed the negative, dark energy of the witch in this place.
Father, give me a power roll.
Ooh.
Power roll. Father is very powerful. My words hold power in this place.
Your calming presence gets the noise to kind of cut through the din, and then your words are able to kind of get through Federico's mind as he's listening to what you're saying, as you acknowledge what he is saying, and get a little bit of trust there. And he slowly lowers the pillow. His lip is quivering as he just continues now looking at the room. I know you've all seen it. I know everybody here has seen the demon. Why do we all act like it doesn't exist?
Federico, perhaps we should discuss this in the chapel, personally.
You see him kind of like shaking his head. He's like, Father, you just got here, so you don't know. And he's pointing to various people who've been here for quite some time. They've seen it. They've seen the beast that she brought here, that witch. And when he says it again, this time a book goes flying through the air and strikes him in the head as Clara yells out, "Stop calling Ethel a witch, you deranged man."
Ethel. The lady.
Margaret, you see, Margaret, actually, you hear some commotion as several of the cooks look at each other and then run out of the kitchen.
Did they say Ethel was a witch?
Yes.
Was it Ethel he was calling a witch? And Ethel's the one that died here and got buried here. Body didn't go missing. Is she...
Correct, Ethel Dawson.
Is she the first person to get buried at the new cemetery here?
She's not. She would be about the 9th or 10th.
Okay. Is she the only one... Since bodies have started going missing, she's the only one who's been buried here. The other ones that aren't buried here have all gone missing, and she's the only one that didn't go missing out of the last 5 people that have died. Out of the last 5 people that have died, she's the only body that didn't go missing. She's also the only one that's buried here, yeah?
Correct. She's the
Okay.
most recent person who's buried here.
But she's also the only one that's, out of the last 5 people, she's the only one that hasn't gone missing. Out of the last 5
Correct.
that have died here. Okay.
Correct. But Margaret, you watch as a couple of cooks run out, and you can see through the swinging of the door of the kitchen as 2 other orderlies are racing from the nurse's office down the hall.
So is the kitchen empty? Is it just me?
No,
In the
there's still 2
kitchen?
people in
Oh.
there. You see one kind of like looks over. His name is Jonathan. He's the head cook here. He's like 6'2", mountain of a man, like the antithesis to Miss Langley. Dark brown skin. You know that he was in the war. You think he was a cook in the war. You don't know where he was, but you've heard him sing some things in French before. As he looks over his shoulder, he's sort of a huge pot. And just kind of shakes his head, and he looks to you, Margaret, and just says, it might be best if you stay in here while I get your coffee ready.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not like these old people. I know things. Can I look what he's got cooking in the pot in case there's a fucking eyeball in it? Like, what are you cooking there?
It's potato and leek soup.
Oh, yum.
Are we sure? Sure. Okay.
You see enough evidence that definitely, backs up that there's potatoes and leeks in that pot. It also smells like potato and
Fair
leek soup.
enough. Okay.
But he looks back over to you, and he's just, getting a little tense around here.
Yeah, he's like, I've probably been here longer than you. It's like, are the staff doing okay? They seem pretty stretched. It's like, is the place doing okay for like money and stuff?
He says, don't worry too much about that, ma'am. Everything is fine. Even if there wasn't money, we'd still be here helping you out.
Oh, you're a good boy. Trying to think if I could. Can I see if I could charm him to see if he'll spill some like gossip?
Absolutely.
Like if he'll, Okay, let's see if Margaret's a gilf.
I mean, she's winking at old people, so.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, charm's okay.
You can use whatever social you think would be reasonable.
Extreme
Oh, see, I mean, he's definitely into gills. He's full on into me, so.
Explains why he works there.
Happens? He just I mean, yeah, he
He's
does
here
loiter
for the
outside
girl.
the women's showers a lot. Yeah, he's in the shower room a lot for a chef.
He's still shaking his head as he puts down a saucer and cup on the table, and he actually brings your chair over towards one of the prep tables, so that way you're not in front of a bin of dirty potato peels. He doesn't make you get up. He just lifts you with the chair and puts it down by the table. He says,
Margaret's into it. She likes it.
As he just kind of starts talking a little bit, the staff, we're fine, we are stretched a bit thin, the weather, hey, as long as the birches hold, there's no reason why I can't make it out here. I do feel a little bit for Mr. Pang. He's in the right mood. He doesn't show you all, he's not going to show that to you, but he tell you what, he almost got into a fist fight with the chief of police, and that was really something. I've never seen a man like Mr. Chang get that angry.
I mean, I could sense there was something up with him. That's good to know. It's like, could you let me out into the garden in a little bit? Oh, I guess it's too stormy, right? I want to look at the graves, but it might be too stormy to go outside.
Yeah, it's stormy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Ethel's room
Okay, I'll go and see
still
what the
there,
boys
or is it
I'll
cleared?
go and see what the boys are up to.
Okay. With that extreme success, any other roll that you make against Jonathan will have a bonus die.
Awesome, because he's totally into you.
I mean, I
So
kind of want to go in the basement later, so I might give him a wink and be like, "Want to meet me down there, Jonathan, in 20 minutes?"
For some fun.
like Birdie, the
Just some
dormitories.
fun, yeah.
Does everyone have like a personal closet and a bed, or personal rooms, or is it one big room and personal lockers?
It's one large open bay, like you see in the photo, and there is a
Okay.
collection of wardrobes, dressers, and footlockers, depending on what that person brought with them.
Do we know if Ethel's property has already been moved out of the dormitory?
No, it has not. You've seen a couple of people pass here, and so usually their clothing is actually kind of recycled back into the population.
Mm-hmm.
It's not uncommon for residents to have an unofficial will that they'll leave their items to, since many of these individuals no longer have family to leave their things to.
Okay. So the situation in the day room is, well, settling a little bit, right? There's less tension. And I suppose when Margaret comes in, I'm going to look over there and suggest that she actually has a look in the women's dormitory, and especially Ethel's belongings, and see if there's anything shady about that.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think it's wise for us to go into the women's dormitory, but we could ask
It
Margaret.
would be frowned upon if I were there.
Margaret seems to be one of the only ones around here that's still got her wits about her. It's because she's a nurse. Her brain will stay switched on for 10, 15 years longer than everyone else's. She's conditioned that way. I trust her.
So Margaret, you go back to the guys. I was about to say lads, and you guys are way too old.
The lads.
Nah, you can still be lads when you're at 90. Lads a state of mind. Lad is a state of mind. It's nothing to do with your age.
Who's the oldest in the group? I'm 68.
I'm 65. 7.
See, when you've got like a bunch of 65-year-old men sitting down in the pub playing dominoes, that's the lads.
Yeah.
They're the lads. Lads is all ages. It's
I mean, we were playing bridges earlier, so.
Aye, that's the lads. Lads is a state of mind. You can be lads at any age, 100%. Doesn't mean young.
All right. Well,
I'll tell them. I'm going to share all the knowledge, but I'll whisper it to them when I see them.
And, well, I'll look over at Margaret. It is a few people that have already been talking about a witch, and, well, evidence points that Ethel is being, well, accused of dark occult magic. I think if her belongings are still on site, you should have a look at them.
Margaret, give me an intelligence roll, please.
Okay.
And Professor Montgomery, please give me a spot hidden and a psychology.
Okay.
Oh, can I spend 6 luck to make it a success?
Yes.
Can I spend 2 luck on my spot hidden first of all? Make that a success.
Yes.
And then
so
psychology.
Margaret, you knew Ethel, I should say. You knew Ethel. She had been in the house for quite some time. It's unfortunate, but she lost all 4 of her sons in the war very early on. She was brought in. You're not quite sure who her benefactor was that was paying for her here at the Almshouse. It's very possible it was the Massachusetts National Guard, as her sons were in the National Guard before they went to regular army to go overseas. She's a very sweet lady. She likes to keep things simple. It's one of the reasons why she tends to just adopt as many animals as possible. She does like animals more than people. You also get the sense that she was just trying to find a surrogate for her sons. As she was quite doting, it wasn't uncommon for her to make little bits of clothing to put onto the animals that she found. A little tie, a little hat, like a little vest. The last pet that she had was a cat named King Arthur. You never saw the cat. itself. You know it has a bell, and you've heard a bell around before. But in her last few months, she seemed to only talk about King Arthur. And you don't think that Ethel would be able to spell the word occult versus understand what occult even is.
So she wasn't like making like demonic things in the sewing room or anything, or researching. Okay.
She was the woman who would be sitting and crocheting or knitting in the corner and having the same conversation with you because she forgot that she had that conversation with you. But she would remember every grandchild that you talked about.
I mean, did anyone attend her funeral at home? I know you said like all her... Oh no, I mean like a relative. Did any relative... Was it just the people at the home, or did anyone...
You actually did see a couple of... you saw a couple of soldiers attend her funeral. They stood a bit apart from everybody else.
I mean, I'm going to tell the lads, as they're now known. I will reveal all this, but I will tell them about the owner having a problem with the police, and I think we need to possibly either persuade him, scare him, or maybe see if we can see a report or something, maybe, in his office. Because I think something serious is going on.
If you were to look
with him and the home.
If you were to look into Miss Edel's belongings, then perhaps we could look into Mr. Peng's problem with the police.
Sure, deal.
Did you study psychology, Mr. Harold? Are you good at seeing lies in people?
Sorry, no, I got I succeeded on that spot-headed murder, but I failed on my psychology.
Okay. Montgomery, you've noticed that the room has kind of divided itself a little bit of men versus women, with all of the women just shooting death glares at Federico and a couple of other guys that have apparently sided with him just because they're physically standing with him. You've noticed that the orderlies are concerned, because they don't want to fight here. Anybody who falls, that could be a death sentence for them. But they seem to look not overly concerned about the topic that's being talked about.
Mm-hmm. Is it normal here for the men and women to separate like that?
There are certain topics that can cause that. Obviously, the women spend more time with each other and the men spend more time with each other, just based off of the way the schedule works. Once it hits a certain time, you can't leave your section and it's just the men there. Same for them.
It's just strange that when he's talking about witchcraft, all the women seem to be upset.
It's almost like they're tired of men claiming women are witches.
Let us pray there's not a coven here.
I mean, can women vote yet in 1925? Can we even vote yet?
No,
so,
you can't.
You can imagine why I'll be a bit pissed at man. Yeah, I might be a little pissed.
So yeah, if they don't get democracy, they just practice witchcraft.
You can't do much. We make a lot of allowances, actually. When we play 1920s, we kind of ignore a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot that
no, you didn't have any rights there. Women's suffrage was 1919. And it's...
Oh, okay.
And for all the women in this particular almshouse, the outcome of the suffrage movement really had no bearing on them individually.
Oh, because yeah.
Well,
yeah, Margaret's still bitter about that.
After calming down Federico a little bit, I move closer towards the women, and I'm willing to listen to their point of view as well. As they know, I am the shepherd of all the people here, not just the men.
All right, I'm going to need a charm or persuasion, as Clara Whitmore seems to be heading up the the women's group right now, and she has made it clear that she doesn't like you.
I'm going for the persuasion.
That's her that threw the book at Federico's head, eh?
It's a hard success.
Very nice, David.
And she's openly said before Father to your face that she does not like you. She tends to not hold back her words.
I look over at her and I reply, well, you do not have to like me to agree with me that peace between all residents of the Almshouse would be beneficial for all, and for peace and stability here in our last days. Wouldn't you agree?
She crosses her arms and she looks at you with a nod and just simply states, imagine how much more peaceful it would be if people stopped accusing others of being witches.
Hasn't just Ethel been accused of being a witch? Are there others?
Isn't one enough? Isn't that how the Salem witch trials started?
No, it started because women were being witches. Now shut up, witch!
Comes towards you.
Shut up, witch!
Did Montgomery teach history?
Montgomery teaches everything.
He teaches everything.
So, Montgomery teaches anthropology, which
Well,
has
history.
culture, theology built into it, along with a bit of language, which is why he's so knowledgeable on so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
Anthropology is the study of man, so everything.
Yeah, and cultures and such.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. The study of civilizations. But
Margaret swapping all the men's pills around. She's like, oh, double sleeping medication for all the boys.
Unfortunately, Nurse Chambers is a little bit too sharp and would catch you doing that.
Now, I am not one to easily accuse someone of being a witch, but you must agree that the recent deaths have been strange and sinister. Now, I am not accusing Ethel of being a witch, but I am not, ruling out that there might be something occult going on here as well.
And she looks at you straight in the eye, Father, which is rare for people to look you dead in the eye. And she just simply states, right, the occult, instead of something like, I don't know, body snatchers.
Body snatchers?
Body snatchers? Where do you think we
Grave
are? Scotland?
diggers, organ harvesters.
Are our organs even that valuable?
How do you think doctors learn?
They come to my lectures, of course.
Actually, Professor Montgomery, you would know, because the Miskatonic does have a medical, what do you call that? College. You do know that the college relies heavily on cadavers being brought to them from the cemeteries. Usually that these are cadavers that the city says that the college can have, people that had nobody to claim them, vagrants, things of that nature. But you also know that there's only so many vagrants out there.
And we've all heard the tales of Burke and Hare in Scotland.
Yes. And Montgomery would know about that.
He would.
Well, the way we treat our dead is a big sign of how that particular culture is. But Clara continues to stare you down. Well, surely the occult is so much more reasonable than body snatchers.
Well, if it are body snatchers, it is as well a desecration of the human body. The church is quite clear on this, that a body should be buried untouched until we all rise once more.
Yes, the church is clear on that.
Body snatchers, body snatchers are still
bit,
far more likely. People wanting to use body parts in the name of science is far more likely than some loony trying to do witchcraft.
Well, I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling anything out. So both are possible and both are despicable.
Reverend, you do see that the room is calming down as you and Miss Whitmore are having a very civil conversation, and it's kind of soothing everybody. People are starting to shuffle back towards their tables to where they were playing whatever card game that they were playing, but they're all still watching and listening.
Well, there is good in even those who do not believe. That is what belief I truly hold to myself.
There's another woman, Annalise. She says, the father is quite right. There's good in many things. Even things that some may perceive as dark are actually good. And there's a couple of looks at her when she says that. Please give me psychology.
Okay.
Can I make one as
Anyone
well?
can give psychology.
I'm paying attention to this conversation. I want to roll one too. Oh,
For an
So
educated
Montgomery-
man, you're failing a lot.
Montgomery, you're catching that people are giving glances to each other. There's some type of like unspoken communication that's happening. You haven't unfortunately been here long enough to get into the different little cliques here, so you're not entirely sure what's going on, but you just know that something is going on right now. Father, you understand when someone's giving the shut up look to somebody else, as Annalise is talking about things that appear dark, but they're not.
Mm-hmm. I see. And who's giving the shut up look?
It's several other patrons that you saw. A couple of them had been in the scuffle. One of the men that was like grabbing Federico, it looked like he was the one that Federico was about to beam with the pillow. He kind of like looks at Annalise like,
Hearing all this, I decide to head to my chapel because the situation is settling down. And recently I decided to open like a little confession box where people can write down stuff and leave it there. And I decide
okay.
to open that up and see if I find some clues about like the internal
confessions to being a
conflict
witch.
and I mentioned
But
I'm
the
a
thing
witch,
is,
father.
But the thing is, Father, anyone who is a witch is unholy and wouldn't believe in the sacrament of God and wouldn't admit to their crime of being a witch. So it's not gonna, you're not gonna catch someone. They're not gonna admit to you to being a witch.
But even Saint Paul used to be known as Saul, and he was given redemption. So anything is possible.
I don't think a witch seeks redemption from the Father.
Dave, you get an inspiration die for referencing
Okay.
St. Paul. And also give me a luck roll.
Okay. So I give you a luck roll?
Yeah, luck roll to see if anybody wrote down anything.
Nah.
Nope. And
Here's a piece. What was that?
do I put the inspiration dice somewhere, or is it just something I remember?
Just remember that you can reroll
Okay.
any dice if you're choosing whenever you like.
Well, I
but
want to
as
use
you
it right now.
Oh, you want to use it right now? Go for
Yeah,
it.
I want to use it right now.
Hey.
It's an extreme success.
You're pulling out bits of paper. Some of them are simply like people requesting that you pray for the children that abandoned them. Others are requesting just increased prayer. You have a couple people, you have one or two that write down, their fears of dying, their fears of death. Mixed in, you do recognize Federico's handwriting, stating that asking you to consecrate the grounds because there's a demon. He even states like, you can see that there's a couple that have the dates. I saw the demon on this day outside the window. I saw the demon on this day in the garden. I think it lives in the cemetery that she wanted. And then you actually do have a number of notes. It's been some time since you opened it. You didn't have a chance to open it with all the hubbub that was going on. You find at least 6 notes that have a feminine handwriting. Very simple, as if the person was not very literate, but handwriting that simply stated, please pray for my pets, King Arthur. He is very scared. He seems alone. I think he could use some blessings. Thank you.
Okay,
Ethel.
very interesting. I'm obviously not going to tell anyone about this because that would, well, shatter the seal of sanctity with confessions, but I'm going to keep this conversation in mind. Well, this information in mind.
Does it work when the person's dead? That's a real question. I don't know.
Actually, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
believe
yeah,
Yeah,
so,
but
yeah.
you're a retired priest, right? So you're not actually a priest anymore.
He is retired. He is retired.
So I'm pretty sure, I
So-
could be wrong, right, but I'm pretty sure that anything said in a confession to a priest, it stays secret forever. Even if that person dies, you can't even use it in
Yeah,
court or anything. The police don't have access to that information. You can confess a murder
there
to
is
the priest,
no time limit.
and the priest can't do
Otherwise, there'd be
anything.
an
And
excommunication.
there's no time limit on it.
Yeah.
'Cause it's
But
holy.
he's not a priest. He's
no-
not a priest.
yeah.
He's not a priest anymore, though, so he can do what the fuck he wants.
He's still
Actually,
a
I
man of
think I
God.
am.
He's still he's
I'm a
retired.
retirement.
He's retired from working, but you never retire from being a man of God, an
I haven't
oracle
been
of faith.
excommunicated.
Yeah, I don't think, unless you give up the cloth, I don't think
Yeah.
you ever stop being a clergyman.
Exactly.
I think even if you retire and stop working, you're still always going to be a holy man, a man off the cloth.
Well, reading this, I am actually going to settle down on one of the benches and offer King Arthur a little prayer. Ask for the Lord to protect him.
A wee voice in your head says that was the witch wrote that prayer. Don't answer a witch's prayer.
No, but I'm specifically asking the Lord to protect King Arthur. I'm not praying for King Arthur.
As the Reverend has gone into his confessional, Margaret and Hal, the rest of the group, they're kind of going back, but now they're speaking a little bit more openly. Margaret, because you've been here longer, you do know, you are part of the clique of people who've been here for a hot second. Hal, because you talk to everyone, you're a little bit more welcomed into some of the older cliques, even though you've only been here for about a year.
Because I teach
But you can see that there's a couple of people at Bridge just like shaking their heads. Annalise's table, as she just states, it's fine. Just everybody just needs to settle down. And when the father meets King Arthur, he'll understand too, and he'll be able to talk to Frederico and let him know. And you see, there's a couple people just saying like, Annalise, you have to stop talking about King Arthur. You're going to sound like Dawson. And she's like, there's
Can I do a
nothing wrong with sounding
Can I
like
do a-
Ethel.
King Arthur was Ethel's cat, or it's the cat that kicks about that Ethel named.
Can I do
Yes,
a psychology roll to see if they think like are they crazy, or do they like really believe like about maybe that the cat's more special than the normal cat?
Yeah, you can do psychology. And Montgomery, you've heard Mrs. Dawson speak of King Arthur quite a number of times. She's asked you to read to him. You've never seen the animal. But she commented one time that he really likes the sound of your voice, that he was like outside the window and he seemed to be calmed whenever you spoke. And she's asked that when you read, if you could read by the window so he can hear you.
And is it a cat? Sorry, is this a cat, this King Arthur that she's talking about?
Everybody says that King Arthur is a cat. Ethel is the only one who feeds it, pets it, clothes it. She put a bell on it, and people have heard a bell moving around the building, but no one else has seen this animal. Some people truly think that there is no King Arthur, it's just her imagination, but other people are quite positive that they've seen something that indicates that there is a cat.
But obviously nobody's feeding it now that Ethel's dead, eh? Ethel's brown bread now, isn't she? So nobody's feeding it.
That is correct.
Are people still reporting hearing the bell since Ethel died?
Yes.
So the cat, whatever King Arthur is still coming about. Who's feeding it now then? Nobody.
Maybe stealing stuff from the kitchen. Well, I'm not there. I'm still in my chapel.
Margaret, you've heard a bell around your window before because Ethel slept on your side. And you've seen Ethel like leaning out the window, petting something. Anytime you tried to go over though, you know, Ethel's kind of like waved you off, saying that King Arthur's very shy.
Yeah, can I take her bed? I presume, because how many days ago did she die? Like, not that long, right? A week ago or something? Ethel
So
died.
Mrs. Dawson, she passed away 4 days ago.
So is her bed stuff, like, you know, her clothes, like her belongings still there? So I can maybe go and check through in case she's got like a witch's hat.
A
Because
diary.
the
Yes,
boys
you
think
can
she's a
check.
witch. I don't think she's a witch, but just it'd be funny if she was a witch's hat or a wand or something. So yeah, I'll go and look through her belongings.
You find the
As long as no one
Necronomicon.
else is there. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say there.
A broomstick. A cauldron.
She has a small dresser that she shares with Annalise. They only have so many items, just a couple of shirts, a couple of skirts and dresses. She has a journal, but inside the journal, instead of writing, it's actually like pressed flowers. There's a couple of little writings. You can tell that she's not very well educated in writing, but you can see there's just a couple of like little things, like she's written people's names as if she was practicing her letters. There's a couple of letters in there, postage from her sons.
Okay, I mean, I'll quickly look through, but if it's mostly like mementos and stuff, there's not like weird like spells or like or she's not like wrote about what happened to her like 2 weeks ago or anything. It's nothing like that in depth.
No, I'll go ahead. Please give me a library use to see if we can decipher her handwriting. As her script, in some cases it's quite.
Oh,
Some cases
did I like
it's
eat the
quite fiddly.
Oh dear.
That's horrible fumble.
Oh,
You get to one section
I was gonna,
where
I was gonna bring the book. I was gonna bring the
You
book
drop,
to you.
you
guys,
drop
I'm
the
guessing
book
it was
and you
a
accidentally
fumble.
grab the middle section of pages, but the weight of the binder of the book still and it tears and separates, and the whole book, every page separates, and the book goes all over the place.
well, as you're trying to read, you know, you have oil lamps. The oil lamp is on the dresser by the window, and you're kind of leaning over trying to like make out her handwriting. It looks like she may have been practicing a letter to the township about getting a cemetery here, and you hear a click, and before you have a chance to react, the window is flung open and a big sheet of rain comes in and hits the book.
Right.
Could have been worse. I
I will
thought it was
say,
going to get
please
burned there.
provide a spot hidden for this one.
Oh, I need to do spot hidden. Okay. Might use some luck on this.
You want
As
to
long as it's not
fail.
a fumble.
You want to
Oh, I want
fail.
to fail. Oh, I failed this one.
Hey.
You hear the click and the window shoots up. These windows are relatively heavy, a bit of a safeguard really to keep people from trying to go out through the window. And the water just immediately hits you, scares the bejesus out of you. And as you turn, you can just glimpse some type of shadow dropping into the bushes.
Ooh.
Hey.
Can I run over to the window quickly, cautiously, in case there's like a man with an axe or something?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a listen as you run over to the window. As you look, you can see bushes are moving about. You can't quite see what's in the bushes. They're like hedges. Once again, it's a safeguard in case anybody falls out of the window, it breaks their fall.
Good, a hard success.
Very nice.
But even despite the rain and the low grumble of thunder, you can very distinctly hear the sound of a little cat bell. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Nice.
See you in 13
I'm
minutes.
sure this was
kids.
just created because Birdie wants to sell cats over the internet, right?
Well, they just wanted to
It's
show us
cat lobby.
cats. Yeah.
Go to your local shelter. Go to your
Do you
local
want to buy
shelter,
this cat?
everybody, and get a cat.
Go adopt a cat, everybody. You should go adopt a
adopt
cat
King
at
Arthur.
your local shelter. Don't adopt an eldritch horror, but just a cat.
No.
See you in about 13 minutes, troops.
Just a
Okay.
cat.
Welcome back, everyone, for part 2.
So, Margaret, the window has been thrown open. You've been doused by rain. The book you were holding has been ruined. And as you look out the window, you can see that the bushes are moving. And despite the weather and the thunder, you can hear the distinct tinkling of a cat bell.
Can I look out the window a little bit? You know, again, carefully, because I guess it's stormy and stuff.
Give me a strength roll to see if you can hold yourself out the window.
Oh, careful, Margaret.
Ooh, I
Don't
don't
fall
think-
out the window.
I think Margaret's great with that.
I mean, it should be safe, right?
You're a wee old lady. Oh, be careful, Margaret.
Uh,
Oh, Margaret, don't
nah,
fall out the window
fair
now.
enough. It was at least she didn't get a fumble. That was the main thing.
You lean out the window trying to get a better look. And as you're leaning out, with the wind and everything, you lose a bit of your handhold on the ledge. You do slip a little bit, hitting your rib on the sill. It hurts.
Ooh.
But what would have hurt more would have been the windows shutting on you as the pain started to fall back down. And right before it hit you, a hand shoots up from the bush and grabs it.
Oh.
Or at least you think it was a hand. As something
Jesus.
pushes you back inside quickly and the window falls shut.
Ooh.
But you could have sworn you saw a dark limb. Could have sworn you saw a hand, but something about it was off.
Hmm.
And as you look out the window, trying to recover, you can see 2 glowing yellow orbs staring back at you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of that room.
Margaret, I do need a constitution roll to make sure that you did not injure yourself when you slipped.
Fair enough.
Do you want to pull
'Cause
your
we know that
Do you want to put your token down,
Anything.
Martin, so we can see what room you're in?
haven't I got a token, have I?
Yeah,
Or do I
yeah,
have
if
to
you-
click something to make it.
I no go to the journal and find your character sheet and just drag your character sheet onto the map. That's how you get your token.
Oh, there you go.
See, there she is. Oh, she's
Oh,
cute.
bless.
She's very cute. My guy's very cute, and your guy's very cute, but David's guy kind of looks like a dick. Just saying.
Your character looks like a dick.
No, he doesn't. My character's cute. and
Oh
so's
my god, she
Martin's.
got another fumble. Does her body just cave in?
Oh.
Please roll me
Can I
a
use-
1d3.
Because you can't use luck on a fumble, right?
Nope.
So,
Nope. Please roll me a 1d3. That will be the amount of HP that you lose.
Oh dear, 1d3's a lot at your age, Margaret.
I know. Can I roll a d6 and just halve it? Because otherwise I have to do all the fancy shenanigans with stuff.
Sure.
Okay,
2.
I've done that. I got a 4, so I guess is that 2?
Ouch.
You lose 2 health as it's very hard to breathe now without feeling a shooting pain. Because you're a nurse, you get the sense that you probably bruised or broke a rib on the windowsill.
Cool. Can I repair myself? Because I'm good at medicine and first aid.
No. You cannot repair yourself. Unfortunately, broken ribs have to heal with time.
Oh, fair enough.
It's gonna hurt to laugh, to cough, to sneeze, to shit. All these things are gonna hurt. I've broke a rib,
gonna
it's
get
the
some-
worst.
I'm gonna get some drugs.
Good idea.
You can
It's
try.
lithium, right? Lithium's like the 18th, 19th century. Lithium.
Lithium dilatum. Yeah.
Yeah, laudanum.
You have to say why you
Laudanum, morphine,
Yeah.
all the good shit, all the good shit.
Dan's not just going to give it to you. You have to say why you need it. But
Novocaine, exactly. All the good
I
stuff.
just out of curiosity, Margaret, did you make any sound when any of this was happening?
Well, no. Well, because when I was looking at the book, I was trying to be like stealthy, and then I mean, I think when I hurt my rib, I would have made an old lady, you know.
You probably
like,
made a lot of sound,
Howl,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would
Probably
have
would
made
have
a noise. I
howled
think
in
when
pain.
You would have
yeah.
made a lot of noise.
yeah, I would have made noise when I fell back from the window. I think, yeah.
A couple of women come in to see what's going on. As Susanna, Annalise comes in to see what's happening. They also heard the window shut.
Mhm.
Actually, also, please give me an intelligence as you're standing there, you know, just trying to take in everything that's happened.
Jesus, I think that kind of upset her.
Would
falling
have
over.
laughed if it was a number fumble. All right. You're sitting there as three ladies come in, trying to figure out what happened. They can see the water on the floor on Ethel's old bed. They see you standing there drenched, looking at the window. Margaret, what happened?
Man, do I trust these ladies? Like,
You've
You
lived with
know,
them for 3
but-
years.
They wiped your bum.
I think I'm gonna. Well, I might tell them I'm gonna be like, I think I saw some cat eyes at the window. I'm not gonna tell them about the hand, but I will tell them I think I saw some cat eyes at the window. And I'm gonna say, and then I'll try and bring up the cat thing again. I'll be like, did you guys ever see the cat? Because I've not. This is the first time I've seen like the eyes, like something more real. So I'm gonna tell them I think I saw, and then that's what scared me, and just ask them if any of them say anything about the cat.
Annalise, she runs over to the window to look out, and you can see her like tapping on the window. Stop. Sorry. You see her tapping.
It's like a real cat tapping on the window.
Is that King Arthur?
And doing a little cooing sound. For Annalise, she turns back and she said, "Yeah, I've seen just a little bits and bits of King Arthur before. Yeah." And you see Susanna, she's like, I've heard his bell. Pretty sure I saw a tail, maybe. I'm not sure. He's a big cat. And Annalise like, he's a very big boy.
And I'm like, I don't think any of the. I'll be like, have any of the men seen the cat, or is it just the female residents? Because I think I've only heard the women talk about the cat, right?
Frederico has definitely seen the cat.
Okay, so it's not just the.
Yeah,
okay.
And it is known that King Arthur spends more time on the female side because Ethel cares for him.
Okay.
So the women would have had more chances to see, hear, smell.
Can I make a listen roll to see if I heard that commotion all the way over there? From this side of from here.
Sure. You're on that side of the building, so go ahead.
No. My ears are long gone.
Yeah.
I'm still.
There's also a storm outside.
I'm still waiting.
Harold is only listening to himself.
Yeah, I'm still waiting outside the wee church for you. I'm still waiting outside the. What do you call it?
My chapel.
This chapel. I'm waiting outside your chapel for you.
And, well, let's say I finish praying for the Lord to help and protect King Arthur and keep him away from evil.
I don't know
and
if
then
that
I
was
emerge
wise.
from my chapel.
Oh, Margaret, I will say also when you were going through Ethel's items, you found her bag of knitting, and you could see that she was in the process of knitting, and she would have said this, that she was knitting a sweater for King Arthur. She's knitted clothing for a whole host of animals before, and when you look at it, this is something that could fit like a 12-year-old. This sweater's massive in terms of like being put onto a cat.
I mean, I want to say I'm surprised, but I know people who've got very fat cats that probably would fit in a 12-year-old sweater. So I'm not. You'd think I'd be bothered, but I've seen fat cats, so I'm like, okay.
Professor, as you're standing outside the door, Federico comes over with 2 other people, another man, another woman, and he's knocking on the little chapel door, giving you a bit of a look, Professor
Oh.
Montgomery, because he knows that you're not really a man of prayer.
I'm not. The Reverend will be out in just a minute. He's just taking care of some Reverend business, Federico. If you could just wait.
As I emerge from the chapel,
There he is.
Yes.
what is it I can help you with, Federico?
Father, I wanted to apologize for my actions before. It's just
Yes, my friend. My child.
without the, and he pauses. Without Ethel here, there's nothing keeping the demon in check. And I'm just a little nervous about what might happen to us.
So you claim that Ethel kept the demon in check. What is this demon? Have you seen it?
He then turns and looks to the woman that's there. You have met most of the people here, Father. You've been here for about 6 months. This is... Hello. Hello there. Sorry. This is Cynthia. She's one of the few people that comes religiously to your sermons. One second, guys. I gotta lift up a cat.
I hope it's got a sweater on that says like
King Arthur.
or something.
King Arthur.
I'm going to ask Federico, what's the demon's name?
He looks at you. She calls it King Arthur.
King Arthur the cat.
Sure, a cat. And Cynthia goes, Father, I have seen it.
If not,
It's not. It's unnatural.
if not a cat, what is it? What is King Arthur then? What is this demon you speak of?
And he's quiet before he just simply states, hold on. And he runs off and just like leaves Cynthia standing there. She's like, Father, Federico, he's not crazy. They're
I have heard whispers and talks about this King Arthur, so I do not believe you are crazy, my dear lady Cynthia. Not at all.
But Ethel's not a bad person. She's not. This creature has deceived her.
How did Ethel care for King Arthur?
She would feed it bits from the kitchen. She would smuggle from the kitchen bones, bits of flesh. Usually she would just take the offal that was left in the kitchen. Sometimes it smelled terrible, like she took it out of the trash.
Did you say it smelled awful?
It did. The offal smelled awful. And then she would talk to it, and she turns and looks at you, Professor Montgomery. I believe she's asked you to read to it.
Yes, I thought I was reading to a cat. What strange creature is this you talk about? We're in the northeast of the United States of America. There are some wild animals, but I don't think you would find a Tasmanian devil roaming around outside. Perhaps it's a wild cat or something.
And you see that there's a pause when you say that, and she's, okay. I've never had a clear look at King Arthur, but I know that he's definitely not a tabby cat. He's too big. He's much too large. He's the size, of a great hunting dog.
As a dog.
A dog.
And she looks to you, Professor Montgomery. Is that the size of a wild cat?
Like a mountain lion, maybe.
And mountain lions do exist in the Northeast.
Do they? Okay. I'm just thinking about big cats in America, and like So the actual big small cat, the Maine Coon, I guess that's from the northeast of America, because that's Maine, right? Maine's the one above Massachusetts, isn't it? So
Yeah, so they have bobcats.
those big cats are they're like mixed. They're like a mixed breed of the domestic cats and bobcats to get that, don't you? And that's from the
Yeah,
northeast of
they're
America.
freakishly large breed.
Yeah.
Not common during that time, so if somebody were to see it, they would probably think it was some type of wild cat. But you had mountain lions, you had bobcats, you had lynxes. You know, they had a couple of different variety of wildcat that existed in the woods there.
And that's just, and some of those could be the size of a hunting dog, I suppose. Especially when seen in the dark.
And you see that she's like thinking about your words, and she's. It is possible, but I don't know how to explain it, but there's just something unnerving about the creature. It doesn't move.
Are there
I actually don't know how a wildcat moves.
are there other residents in the women's quarters who have seen it and are unsettled by this King Arthur?
There's a couple of us. Ethel, we brought it up to Ethel, and she keeps saying that King Arthur is harmless. And I just want to point out that we have never been harmed. King Arthur, whatever this creature is, it's never come up to us. It's never done anything. It smells horrid when it is around, but
It smells horrid. Do you think it would eat a dead human person?
well, it smells like death, warmed over.
I wonder, Reverend, if this is where your missing bodies are going. It's getting fed to a giant predator of an animal that's living outside the grounds of the
And
home.
you are saying that Ethel took it from the garbage, whatever she fed it.
It smelled like sometimes she was taking things from the garbage. And she didn't feed King Arthur all of the time. When he showed up, certain things disappeared, such as any carcass on the grounds, like the dead raccoons, the dead opossums that would sometimes die in the garden. Usually the staff would remove it, but after King Arthur showed up, he started taking them away, according to Ethel.
Anything big enough to take, yeah, anything that's taking away dead opossums and dead raccoons, if it's big, could be stealing dead bodies, could be stealing dead human people, especially a little old person when they only weigh 95 pounds because they're 95 years old. Do you know what I mean? A wee old frail old person doesn't weigh much by the time they die, by the time they waste away and die, yeah.
Professor, please give me a charm as you say that in front of Cynthia.
I don't think I was being very charming there. Oh, okay, I'll roll charm though. No, I failed to be charming when I said that.
Cynthia,
I was
the side of the
deadpan.
cross, quickly runs away as you say that something is hauling away her peers to eat it.
Oh, only after they're
Frederico
dead. You've got nothing to worry about. You're not dead.
She's gone. She's booking it.
Whatever it is, it's
come
not.
back to the women's quarters.
Whatever it is, it's not strong enough to take out a living old person. So we've got nothing to worry about. It's preying on dead old people. You're fine. You're not dead yet.
She's gone, and as she's running back, Federico's coming back, and he's holding a notebook, and he flips it open. Here we go. Okay. Yes. Luigi, he's been drawing things, and I think he drew the creature, and he shows you a picture. It's a very, very rough sketch. It looks more, it doesn't look like a cat. It looks like somebody kneeling, but like a naked figure kneeling. The arms look a little bit too long, but other than that, that's kind of it. There's nothing else to the sketch, and there's no face or anything. It looks like whatever, something is kneeling and like looking away.
Kneeling and long arms like a gorilla.
Kneeling and like a person.
I know a gorilla.
Like
I know a gorilla is
look like a
crouching, but
person.
like Right, okay, but
Crouching like a gorilla.
low down like that, and then with big arms, something like a gorilla, but kneeling instead of crouching.
Correct. And the only like specific details you can see the spine is a bit exaggerated in its articulation.
May I keep the sketchbook?
Like a
My good
sloth.
friend
Like
Federico.
it looks like a sloth with big long arms almost.
It looks like the arms were either the results of an artist that didn't have their perspective correct,
Mhm.
or the arms were drawn long to make the image fantastical in some way. But just the way the muscles are shaded
Death
in,
claw.
once again, it is a rough sketch, but it seems like whoever did this had some talent.
Yeah, so
As Federico
Luigi has
tells
a
his father.
history in art.
Yes. He said, "Well, I did take this from Luigi." And then Luigi is a small Italian man. You don't know where he came from. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's actually, Father, you get the sense that he avoids you.
Okay. Well, can I keep the sketchbook, my
Maybe
good
we
friend Federico?
Maybe we should go and speak to Luigi, Father. See if he can
I
draw us
believe
more
so.
pictures of it.
I
Describe
believe
it.
so.
He seems to have had a good look.
Have we heard from Margaret yet?
No, let's go and check up on Margaret. She's the only other one I can really trust here. Let's go and check up on Margaret.
Cynthia, Federico,
Yeah.
they're all to be trusted.
Of course, Cynthia and Federico, I think, are on board.
Margaret's not admitting that she's had a very bad accident. She's still continuing.
Okay, so you're still in the women's
Yeah, because I was
dormitories?
because I was asking them about the cat stuff, so I can
Mhm.
tell you guys when it's private about the cat.
We
stuff,
knock
and
on
I'm
the
sure
door.
you'll-
Let's go find
And
her.
I have
Oh,
Luigi's book, right?
I don't think in 1925 you've been allowed in here, so I probably have to come out.
Oh,
No, we knock on the door and
Yes,
we're like,
he has
can
to come out,
Margaret
yeah.
come
I
out?
don't think I'd be allowed to.
we can wait in the day room, eh?
Yeah. There's like there's no guards or anything. It's just like a social
Norm.
expectation that you wouldn't
Yeah,
walk
yeah.
into
That's
the
good to know.
sleeping area.
I won't let them in. Randy, dirty old man. Well, I'll tell him to go in the reading
Oh,
room.
you,
so
you
we
let
can
me
have
in
some
every night. What are
privacy.
you complaining for?
Hey, I've got my young chef stirred. I don't fucking need some old dick. I got some 25-year-old in the kitchen. Yeah, I'll
Going
invite
out
you
for a
guys
war
to
veteran.
yeah, I'll invite you guys to the reading same room, and hopefully everyone else is in a different room so we can chat. Plus, check the room out because there might be more sewing stuff from Ethel in here. Maybe she's got like a hat or something she's been knitting.
So we'll tell you about Cynthia and Federico and what they told
Mhm.
us.
We
And
show
I'll
her
tell
the
you
book
about
if she
my
tells
cat.
us about the cat
I'll tell
experience.
you all the cat stuff because then it'll match up with. Because I think you guys have pieced together, right? So clearly, Ethel is taking parts of the body, or someone's helping her. 'Cause she's been in the kitchen, which leads down to the fake morgue. So I think she might have been feeding it more
Resting
than
area.
resting area.
I show Margaret Luigi's book as she tells about the accident at the window. Is the hand that held
Let me tell you that we're going to
to
go speak to Luigi because he seems to have had a good look at this King Arthur.
Well, you guys should do that, and I want to speak to the manager because he knows something as well that he's not released. I think there's two things. There's something going on with him as well, but I think he's a nice guy, so I want to ask him about the police, why he had a fight with the police.
Okay.
But yeah, we're in the same thing, same area. We're not going anywhere.
And we'll
too
go
far
speak
away.
to Luigi then, David.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Where's Luigi at?
Let's go find the little Italian.
So you know that Luigi, he likes to keep to himself, so he could be in the reading room. Sometimes he sets up in the dining room he has a sketch pad on an easel. They allow him to draw in the dining room away from everybody else because it helps keep him calm.
Okay, well, we just were in the reading room.
Why
Was
do they have to
Luigi
keep
there?
him calm? Does he murder CEOs if they don't?
That's a few
will
more
just
hundred
start to
years.
kind of he'll start to just talk. He can speak English. However, when he gets upset, he will only speak in Italian.
Well, I know as a priest in this time, and I think I'm a Catholic priest, I know Latin and Latin and Italian are related, so I might try to communicate with him
I
in
know some
Latin.
Latin also. And I think also it says reverend, so you're not a priest. You're not a Catholic priest if you're a reverend. I think. I don't know. I'm neither Catholic nor Protestant. I've got no idea.
I know that Father O'Malley was the one who replaced me at the church, but doesn't.
That's a pretty Catholic sounding name, O'Malley.
Yeah, that's a pretty Catholic sound.
Yeah,
Right.
it sounds
Maybe
like
Reverend
that.
is Catholic. I don't know. I am neither. Like,
Reverend spans a couple of different
Yeah.
denominations.
does it? I wasn't sure. I thought they
Mhm.
didn't use Reverend in Catholic. Maybe they probably do. I don't know anything
So
about any religion.
there's
It's one of
reverend.
its various functions.
Yeah.
Reverend's a bit of a catch-all.
Hmm.
It's only priest if it's Catholic, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's pastor.
Yeah. Or Reverend or something
Reverend,
else.
yeah.
Only Catholics use priest. I know that. Know that much.
Well, Orthodox as well.
No, that's right. Yeah, the Orthodox do as well. That's right. It's priest for them too. But those two are almost the same. Anyway, that's a different conversation.
Reverend, I will say that you have seen Luigi with a rosary wrapped around his arm before. So
Okay.
you think it's a bit odd that he avoids you?
Hmm. He is in the dining room painting, right?
Yes.
I'm just going to. Well, is there a chair close to him? I'm just going to sit next to him and observe him as he's painting.
Chairs all throughout the dining room.
I'm just going to sit next to him and observe him.
And I'm
Forgot to
gonna
put the picture of the
compliment and I'm gonna tell him how he has the talent of a real talented artist, but also the technical
Michelangelo.
like a Michelangelo, but also the technical ability of a Da Vinci. Did Da Vinci happen yet? My
Yeah,
history.
Da Vinci happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, Da Vinci
My-
very much happened.
My history's pretty bad.
Well, as you go to speak, he visibly just like shudders a little bit. He gives a start, as if he was completely oblivious to you all walking up. He looks over his shoulder at you all and says nothing and kind of just hunches a little bit protectively over his canvas.
What's he painting?
He does not acknowledge you as he continues.
I'm just looking at his painting. What's he painting? What's the picture?
It appears to be a beach of some sort, a very, very stormy beach. The waves are very, very dark. It has very dark clouds. You can see that he's working on the lighthouse right now.
Do we recognize the beast known as King Arthur somewhere in the painting?
There's nothing living in this painting. It's just rocks and beach and waves.
Is there just one canvas there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hal, please give me a history roll. Or intelligence. I'll let you choose one of the two.
History's 55. My intelligence is 70.
Yeah, I'm definitely going for intelligence.
I think it's just me. Got it.
Oh, it
Hal,
was
you
Harold.
recognize this. Yeah, Father, you recognize what he's painting. He's painting a lighthouse in Innsmouth.
Oh,
Okay.
Innsmouth.
Nice.
It's an interesting place you're painting in Innsmouth. Very dark. Very stormy. Very wet. Slimy.
He continues to paint and does not acknowledge you.
I reach for Luigi's notebook and I just stand up and stand next to him and then show him that I have one of the flock here in the Almshouse has showed me this. I've heard concerning reports about a demon lurking here in the Almshouse, and I've taken it upon myself to combat and fight this evil. I believe you have some important information for us, Luigi. I can see you are a man who believes, as I motion for his rosary. I pray that you help me.
He turns, sees you holding his notebook, and he immediately snatches it from you. And he slams, he flips it over to the back end, and this is literally the first time this man has ever spoken to you, but he says with a thick Italian accent, but very clear English, "What did you look at in this book?"
What
believe
did
it
you
is a
look at
beast.
in the book?
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm
all,
sorry.
Oliver's gonna do all of my.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Has to be done.
The Reverend calls out, well, I believe the being is being called King Arthur by the residents of the Almshouse.
Regius Arturo.
He just states,
That's Latin for King Arthur.
"I don't know this King Arthur. I don't know." And he persists. "What did you see in the book?"
Regius Arturo.
A being with hunched hands, a hunched being with hands, something vile.
What is
I
it?
didn't hear you, Birdie.
Only the one page.
Yes, that is what I've been shown by one of the residents here.
What else is in the book, Luigi?
You guys can all roll psychology.
Ooh.
You're gonna need a harder extreme success, as this is a very cagey individual.
Well, that's an extreme success.
Well, never mind.
Oh, very nice, David. I'm useless on that one.
Well, so with that extreme success, Father, you can see when you say that you just saw the one, there is relief in his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You get the sense that there was something in the book that he was afraid of you seeing.
Okay.
And you get the sense that it came from a place of protection.
Yeah.
He was afraid of you seeing something that you shouldn't see, or something that might be bad for you.
Okay. I try to rest my hands upon the book for a moment, and I just make clear, like, I have only seen the one page. Do not need to worry, Luigi. Whatever is in there, it is safe with me, and if you ever desire it, my confessional is always open. But I believe you can help us ward off whatever evil is present here, and make sure that no one else has to die needlessly.
He turns to you, Montgomery, to acknowledge that what you had asked, and he just simply states, "You don't need to know. You know other things. Know the other things." And he turns to you, Father, and he tells you, Father, there is no needless death here.
Some animal is eating the dead bodies of the people who pass away here, and we can't let that continue, Luigi. And for some reason, it keeps happening, and the police in the home are doing nothing about it. And it's only a few people who know about this demon, this monster, that's quite clearly stealing the corpses of our dearly beloved. We need to put a stop to it, and you need to help us. You know about it.
So he actually gives you his full attention now. And once again, Hal, you also have never had a conversation with this man. He has come to some of your lectures when you've talked about older cultures. He's never said anything. He's just sat in the back corner and sketched away as you spoke. But as you say that, he turned and he gives you what could have been a smile if it had not looked so flat on his face, as he just says, are you going to kill all the vultures?
Vultures?
Are you going to kill all of the raccoons, all the bears? You going to kill all of the ants because a corpse was eating? What do you think happens to corpses?
Not people's corpses, not people's bodies. People's bodies are interred and buried and burned for ashes, but not eaten by wildlife or demons.
Why? What makes the people so special?
That people have loved ones who need to see them buried properly, who need to mourn them properly. You can't mourn someone properly when their corpse is missing, when their body's gone missing, and you don't even know where their final resting place. They don't even have a final resting place. Their final resting place is in the stomach, in the bowels of some beast. No one deserves
You
that.
see, he actually does smile. It's a very sad smile as he just says, "Where are the loved ones? Where are the loved ones here? You've been here months now. No loved ones for you."
Don't we care for each other, Luigi? Isn't that why they put us together, us with no loved ones? Isn't that why they put us together, to be each other's loved ones, each other's family? Aren't you my family here? Aren't we all family? This is your family members you're talking about.
I've come here specifically to help family
I'm appealing to his nature as a family man, as an Italian, as a Mediterranean type. They are very family driven, orientated people. I am appealing to that. I'm appealing to the Italian and the mafia, the mobster in him, the Italian.
The mobster in him.
Well, you're saying
you can't let down the family.
The stereotype of an Italian from an anthropologist. Fantastic.
As you say this, I will say, now that you're actually engaging with them, you all are starting to notice, because he's kept himself physically away from people, that there is a tremor to his hand as he speaks that never goes away. He doesn't seem to ever get like a full breath of air as he talks and he breathes. It seems as if something stops him from getting like a full breath in.
Okay.
And he just looks at you. He's like, "Your family are books. Your family's no one here. I see you go. Your friends at the university come take you away all the time.
I know,
no
but
family here."
we're supposed to be, though. It's the closest thing to one you have, isn't it?
Indeed. And I've come here specifically to help those who are in need of guidance, comfort, and the familiarity of family.
I'm going to maintain that extreme success. When you say that, there's a curious expression that kind of crosses his face as he turns to you and says, "Well, I believe King Arthur needs family now that his mama is gone. Will you give him comfort, father?"
Do you know where we may find King Arthur?
And he just looks and does anybody here speak Italian? I actually don't know your
Yes. I have Latin and Italian. I have Latin at 60 and Italian at 50. I actually do speak Italian.
Where do you see your languages?
It's the last section on the character sheet.
Right
On the right-hand side.
Last session in the
Under your firearms. On the right-hand side, you've got fight and then firearms, then languages.
I just own.
Which means English then.
So no Latin. I must have been
the
shit
Latin.
priest.
You are shit
No,
priest.
you do have
Useless
Latin.
priest.
You do have Latin. I think the Latin was just understood for your sheet.
Okay.
But he speaks in Italian. So Professor Montgomery, you do hear what he says. As he's just simply saying, tired of hearing people talk about this stupid cat.
I'll say.
He says that in Italian before he turns to you, before he continues with you, Father, and just says, "Where do the dead go?" And then he turns back to his canvas as he tucks his notebook underneath his little sweater vest.
And I'll answer for him. I'll say they go in because they don't go to heaven and hell. I don't believe in that nonsense. They go in the ground where their family can
I make a sign of the cross as the professor says that.
They go in the ground where I don't say that. I don't believe in heaven and hell. But I'm saying, because I don't believe in heaven and hell, that They go in the ground, or they go in a mantelpiece in an urn, so their families can mourn them. They don't go in the belly of some animal.
You hear he goes, and he says once again in Italian, because you get the sense he's getting frustrated. He says, "Where did the dead go here?"
You're in on this, Luigi. You're feeding this demon, aren't you? You're in on it.
He's ignoring you again now, and he's gone back to his painting.
Let us not continue to bother this man, Luigi. I am thankful for all the things you have said to us, and I pray you continue this curious painting.
Ciao, Luigi. Fucking ciao.
He actually says, he actually does say, like, God be with you in Italian, and in Latin, and you get the sense it's reflexive.
Okay. So, is there like an umbrella somewhere? Because we're gonna have to head out in the storm.
Yeah, we're gonna have to find a raincoat and stuff as well, probably. We probably don't have things like that because we live in here.
Otherwise, we'll die from a cold.
Yeah. We're
You're
frail
not
old
wrong.
fucking people.
I died when a window opened, so
Yeah, you just about died opening the window.
Okay.
So you do know for a fact that your going and comings into this building is controlled by the staff. When it's inclement weather, they will not let you out.
Mhm.
You do know that.
We're gonna have to sneak out.
There is a window in my chapel.
Oh, should we sneak out? Oh, imagine getting our old frail ass bodies at a window. I think we should go out and see this cemetery and what's going on, and if we can find this King Arthur and shoo it off.
Hmm.
Or
So are you all exiting the dining room?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
We're
gonna
looking for Margaret, I suppose.
we're gonna go look
first.
for Margaret, and then we're gonna climb out the window.
Oh, well, I would have told you I'm going to the office to speak to the owner.
Oh, you
while
did,
spoke
you
to
did, you
Luigi.
did,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you know where I am unless he's killed me or something.
Me and you will go out the window. Dude,
Well-
me and you will go look for the beast. Me and you
Mr.
can,
Pink killed you.
me and you can go die. Martin can have a night off after last night.
I mean,
Well,
I ain't going outside after the window thing. And I know there's something out there. You guys maybe don't believe me.
We don't. We think it's a big cat.
No, you think it's a big cat.
Father and Professor, as you're coming out of the dining room, Margaret, you've already started heading towards Mr. Pang's office. You're moving a little bit slow though, as you're beginning to realize how hurt you actually are. And as you're moving, you feel you hear somebody coming up behind you. You hear little slippers coming up behind you, and you see as Cynthia runs past you, looking quite frantic, and she pauses as Professor Montgomery and the Reverend come out of the dining hall, and she just beelines it towards the Reverend. Father, and she's looking around wildly, and she's just like, she keeps opening and closing her mouth, but she can't get any words out.
Please, come, my child. Tell me what ails you.
She's still she's looking at you, and she's looking over at you, Professor, before finally she just turns and she noticed that Margaret, you're also walking down the hallway, and Margaret, she runs to you and just says, Annalise went out the window.
Oh shit.
Oh, and she's the slightly crazy one as well.
She's Ethel's disciple, I think.
Yeah.
Ethel's apprentice.
I mean,
But she
Yeah.
grabs your hand, Margaret, when she says that, and she looks at you, hoping that you understand what she means.
I'll be like, I'm gonna grab. Did the Reverend get an umbrella? Because maybe I can use it as a crutch or something to move a bit faster. Or can I get? Have they got wheelchairs? Can the lads roll me around in a wheelchair so I can move at normal speed?
We could try that.
There's a lot of wheelchairs around here. The wheelchairs
There's
are just
bound
kind
to
of
be a
out and
wheelchair.
about.
Okay, well I'll get the fastest wheelchair that's got stripes on it, and then start wheeling myself towards towards the room but I'm not. I'll not telling anyone else, obviously. Like telling the lads, but not anyone else in their home.
Did Birdie freeze?
Yeah, Birdie froze for me.
Birdie froze.
Oh, no,
Oh,
she's
she's
back.
back. She's back. She's back. She's back.
It's like-
Cinderella
it's like-
time.
Yeah, I mean, mine will be coming up. Don't worry.
But yeah, so Cynthia, she's just looking at you for guidance. As you go to get a wheelchair. What are you planning on doing with that wheelchair?
No, I'm not gonna hit anyone with it. I'll get in. I'll just get in it to help me move. For now, anyway. I might get out of it, but yeah, just to maybe make me a bit faster. Yeah.
Bit steadier.
And head to the. I presume she means from the bedroom, right? From the dormitory. So yeah, I'll move there with the lads towards there, but not tell anyone else that we pass.
We were planning on leaving through the chapel window
Mm-hmm.
because nobody would notice.
So we're gonna climb out the chapel window. There's a window here.
Yeah, but I think there's already a window open somewhere else where someone's gone out. So
Yeah, but
if you
everybody will
wanna
be
follow
watching
it.
that window. We'll not be able to sneak out that one. I think we continue with the plan, David.
Well, you go out that window and I'll go and check on the other window and see what happened.
Right, let's go,
Because I
Reverend.
really want to go outside because I think you guys are going to die.
You, so do I, but it's fine.
So
I'm used to this game. You go in first, David. I'm not walking in your holy place first. You go in first. I'm not religious, but I'm still a wee bit superstitious, and that's your gaff. So
I hope one of the orderlies comes in and it's just the Reverend pushing you through the window, but it looks like he's doing something else.
So-
I do hate to break it to you, Reverend, but your window, it's a fixed window. Does not open.
Oh no.
oh no,
It's not a stained glass window.
Break
with a
it.
You
light.
Break
can
it.
break the glass if you want. You can break the glass.
I'll break the glass. I'll grab a.
No. We shall not do that. We might damage.
Oh,
something in
God
here.
will forgive you. We need to get out the window. God's not even real, Reverend, but never mind. God will forgive you. Come on. We can
Do we
break a
even
window.
have coats, umbrellas? Do we have some? Did we take something yet?
David, we're going to die. We don't need an umbrella.
Yeah, but you're not going to die of Cthulhu. You're going to die of like literal weather conditions.
Nah, we've got umbrellas. Let's just say we've got umbrellas,
Okay.
right? If
But
it shuts you up.
umbrellas are kept in a common area, so that like those types of things aren't hard to get. Those are common things to get.
And my sou'wester
Okay.
and my Wellington boots.
So we have umbrellas. What do we do now? Gonna break the window?
We can break
I
the
make a
window.
sign of the cross as Harold decides to break the window.
I pick up the heaviest thing in the room. Big fucking Bible. First time that book's ever come in useful, Reverend.
You better not get a fumble and like just
Yeah,
your bones
you can
break and you
smash
pick
it.
up the
Oh,
Bible.
are you making me roll a dice for it, are you?
Yeah, strength roll.
Oh no way. Come on, the strength of God is in this roll. It's the Bible. God breaks the window.
I mean,
Make
you're
me
trying to
roll a
destroy
strength
the
test.
chapel
I'm
window.
fucking I'm 79, you making me roll a strength test. Fucking hell.
I think you're gonna die doing it. Yeah.
Listen, at this point
Look it.
at this
And
point I'm
The
spending
window
I'm
the glass does rattle,
I'm
but it
spending-
does not break.
well, I'll just try again then. Fucking break your dick.
So you reposition so this way the spine is now hitting. In Reverend, you watch as this guy just smashes your window open. Rain is now coming into your room.
He'll forgive you, Reverend, if he's real. He'll forgive
What
you.
if?
Margaret, you hear a window break, and Cynthia looks at
If
the
I
car.
If I hear it, I'm pretty sure everyone in the home's heard it, which gives me a distraction to get out of my window.
True.
Well, you also have a garden door, right?
Yeah, plus I was thinking if it gets bad, I could flirt with the guy in the kitchen because he owes me one. Maybe he'll let me nip out the kitchen. So.
I want to get very clear. As Dave just pointed out, there are doors in the sleeping area that lead to the garden. So
And there's a door,
Well,
aye. There's literally a door.
Cynthia heads towards there's a door.
That's fine. We broke a window. It's fun. It's more fun that way. We're old geezers getting up to some fucking. We're cantankerous fun. We're cantankering.
You're going to end up in
That's
the fucking
nice.
You're going to end up in Arkham Asylum, which I'm pretty sure is worse than the Arkham Almshouse.
My
So-
cantankerers, I need you to roll strength to see if you can get out of that window without harming yourself.
Do we know if there are like staff near the garden door
Come on.
in our dorms?
I'm spending 12 luck, birdie.
So, Reverend, you know that there's kitchen staff. You know that Mr. Pang and Mrs. Langley are in their respective office rooms. You know that the orderlies, right now there's 3, and then you have 1 nurse.
Mhm.
And you know the orderlies tend to kind of drift around to different areas. Wherever people are congregating, the orderlies will kind of generally go over there just to be around in case somebody needs help with something.
Well, as Harold struggles to go through the window, I decide to go to the dormitory and see if there's like an orderly there.
I've spent the
And
luck.
if there is one, I'm going to tell him like the window in my chapel broke, and I'm gonna try lure him over there so I can exit through the garden door.
All right, you do see that there is an orderly that was by the men's bath.
Okay.
So
And
he may have noticed if you had gone out the dormitory door, but when you tell him that, he frowns. It's like, okay, Father. I didn't think the thunder was that loud. Okay. Father, I'll go in there and I'll clean it up. I'm gonna have to board up the window. Apologies, we won't be able to get it fixed for at least a week.
It is all right. I appreciate every work you do. Lord bless the
Harold,
carpet.
you're really lucky that I put box hedges around all the windows. So you fall out the window, you land on the hedge, you are not injured, you're able to get yourself out, nor did you cut yourself on glass. Harold, you're now outside in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that you do hear somebody coming into that room.
I move as fast as my old ass can take me. Round.
I look for an umbrella
Just
in
in
the
the shade.
dormitories and I also exit.
I'm gonna go open the shed and try and find something big and heavy, like a spade, a shovel, or a pickaxe or something. A big tool in the shed.
Yeah, the shed, it's not locked. People don't lock sheds back then. As you go to get to the shed,
A pump action shotgun.
yeah, you make it, you're
Pump
booking it.
action
So you do make it
shotgun.
around before the orderly can see you. And as you go to the shed, you happen to notice that there's a door behind the shed, which is an odd place to have a door because it looks like it's a bit inconvenient to get to. It is big enough though. Like there's space between the shed and the back door, but you don't know what this back door leads to.
So there's a door right here.
Yes.
Okay, well, Sam, what's the best thing for hitting a big cat with in the shed? What's the best heavy thing?
There's a shovel in there. There's hand spades. There's rakes.
Have it with the rake.
I think, is there like a fork? You know, like the one that's got the prongs, like one of them. Pitchfork.
No, because that's too dangerous for old people to have. There's a tiny version of it, a trowel.
Like the wee trowel version, the wee hand version of a pitchfork. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just grab a shovel. That'll do. And then I'm going to see what's
Okay.
behind this door. I'm quite curious now. What's in here?
You go to the door, and as you're kind of looking at it, there is a flash of lightning that illuminates, and you can see it's a double door. Once again, unusual. And you can see that there's a plank of wood propped up against the door to like keep it closed. And when you get closer, you can see why the doorknob appears to be broken. It's kind of hanging out on one of the doors.
I'm going to open it. Move the bit of wood and open the door. I'm very curious what's going on here. I'm distracted from the mission. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What's they hiding in here?
Yeah, you take away the bit of wood, and you go and you look down inside. You can feel a little bit of heat come out. Go ahead and give me a listen roll. And Father, you are now coming out. You know where the orderly can see, so you know how to stay out of his vision. And I'm going to say that you make it around
ears
as
are
you're
gone.
walking. You notice that Tal is investigating this door.
Do I have an umbrella from the
There's
dormitory?
a door here, Reverend.
I open it up and I cover myself and Harold.
There's a door here, Reverend.
Do we
Behind
not
the
go
shed.
to the graveyard.
I'm going in a minute, but there's a door here. I don't know what's... I'm just curious what's down here.
It's very, very dark down there. You see you see a very, very small light. And I'm going to say, Margaret, you can now see the lads from where you are, because you would have direct line of sight.
And is the door open? Was it Alicia went out the door outside?
Annalise, so the window is open. The window's open. The door's not locked on the women's side.
Okay, because we're trustworthy, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's gone
also,
out.
you currently don't have any dementia patients that would wander outside. That's why.
Is there any food that's been left in our room? Because I'm thinking if we meet Sir Arthur, we might want some food.
Good point.
Like, is there any meat-related products in our room, or can I quickly grab something?
Joikey. Got some beef joikey.
No, because I'm wondering he might be hungry, and I think he's going to eat one of you guys. So maybe if I bring him some meat, he might not. So I want to grab some food, if there's any not too far away.
Give me a luck roll. Okay,
see if I've got a tuna sandwich in my
I
purse.
think it's just some scavenging animal, not a predator, but a scavenger, something that eats corpses, and that's why it's hanging about an old folks' home. I still think there's a natural reason for this.
Yeah, you're gonna get eaten. Yeah, I got
Oliver's well aware of that, Martin. Oliver knows
You're
that.
gonna get eaten.
Harold's clueless.
Margaret, when you were going through Ethel's things and checking around, you did notice that she had a plate underneath her bed, which is not fully uncommon. Sometimes people will eat at their beds if they're not feeling well. And usually the staff will come and collect it. It's a bit odd that this got missed. But you do see it's a plate. It looks to just be a plate of like a chicken carcass, like the bones of a chicken carcass. Some skin, some desiccated flesh on there.
Yeah, I'll wrap that up the best as I can and put it in my old lady purse, which is massive, and then get out of the wheelchair. Are the ladies still around me? Like any of the other ones? Like
Cynthia sees what you're doing.
I'm like, Cynthia, can I ask Cynthia if she wants to come with me, or maybe keep watch?
She does not want to come with you. She's totally willing to keep watch for you.
Oh, I'll ask her to keep watch, at the door, and and I'll run outside to meet the boys and see what the fuck trouble they're trying to get themselves into.
Well, luckily there are...
Oh, Birdie froze for me.
Yeah, she froze for me also.
Same here. So I'm covering you with the umbrella as well.
I'm gonna screenshot it. I screenshotted you when you froze the other day, Martin. And I made she's unfroze.
Oh, she's back.
When you froze the other day, Martin, when you did your Cinderella, you had your glass like this, and I took a screenshot and I made it an emoji.
Great.
Okay, wait. When did I freeze?
Yeah,
you. For like 2 seconds.
Yeah. You didn't have too embarrassing a face when you froze. It's fine.
No.
All right. So the lads are standing in front of this this open door, staring down into very, very, very dark. You'll notice right off the bat, there's no stairs. It's a ramp that goes down.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Like
definitely gonna kill us.
Like as if you were gonna wheel bodies down, like that was on like a dolly, like a trolley, like you put bodies on. Yeah, aye, okay. Oliver knows exactly what's going on here. Poor Harold is clueless. Oliver knows exactly what the fuck's about to happen.
Not terribly steep. You could help Margaret get down it if you wanted to, or Margaret, you could just...
Is she still in the chair?
She's in her chair, yes.
No, I got out of the chair once I went out the door. Just, because I know, I'll grab I'm sure there's a walking stick nearby that might help me a bit there. Plus a weapon. I'm going to see if there's like a walking stick I can grab.
Well, there's a shed right there. You could grab a hoe or a rake.
Yeah, just to steady me and maybe...
You could have grabbed an umbrella to use a walking stick.
Yeah,
and
just to help.
There are handrails in this
Okay.
weird area.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I'll use one of the umbrellas then as to help me, steady me a bit.
Well, down we go then.
Anybody else go ahead and make a listen roll. I will say at this time you are starting to hear what you realize is a boiler.
I'm gonna make a listen roll, yeah.
My ears are fucked.
Ooh, I got extreme success. Can I hear the screams of the people who died?
You do hear soft murmuring, Margaret, and you get, it's very soft, it's very feminine. It's Annalise.
Okay, so
You
I know
can hear her.
Annalise.
Be quiet, be quiet.
Oh, she's telling us to be quiet. Oh, okay.
Is
Also,
there
the guy-
something odd about Annalise?
Reverend, as you say that, you see her suddenly appear out of the darkness as she's kind of creeping up. Margaret, come here.
I'm gonna go over to her with my umbrella as a weapon / the walking device. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have an umbrella. Our weapons.
Yeah.
I've got my speed out.
What did she say? She got something cool to show me.
Birdie froze again, I think.
Screenshot.
She's got a nice one with a smile. It might.
That is a good one actually.
"Ah."
She's got a nice smile in that one.
Yeah.
Every time somebody freezes from now on, I'm going to save it and make it a screenshot.
Well, she's back now
Perfect
anyway.
freeze.
She's back. You can't screenshot her if she's back.
No, but she states like, "Are you here for King Arthur? Because he's hurt."
Oh no! I'm a nurse. I can maybe help him. It's like, where is he?
Oh, is he hurt?
He's down here. Father, come. I'm sure you'll be a great comfort as well. He got into some terrible fight.
With who though? Like a resident, an animal? You know,
Some other animal.
some other animal.
Probably
okay.
another cat.
Okay.
Well, let's go check out King Arthur then.
Let's go meet this King
It is so
Arthur.
good if you to grab Hal. Hal, I'm sure if you just read a little something, it'll also help get him nice and calm.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it the back of this shovel up close.
I mean, the Reverend has a well-worn Bible. So I reach for my
You
Bible.
can barely even break a window with that thing. Never mind hurt him.
No, it's
Oh,
my
you're gonna
personal
read.
one.
You're gonna read, right? Okay, never mind.
So the Reverend is going to start approaching it and read from the Bible.
Reverend, maybe I should do that. It likes my voice, apparently.
She says, yes, thank you so much, Reverend. Come. He's okay right now, but he looks so roughed up, Margaret. He's underneath the stairs. And going down the ramp, you can now see on the right-hand side, taking up a good portion of this space, is a large boiler. On the left-hand side, pitch black. That's where the stairs are, and it's open underneath the stairs. There's no lights on.
Can we try and turn the lights on if we look around?
If you start to look around for a light, and Annalise, oh, I don't think he likes the light. It's okay. I found a small candle, and you can see that there was a small flicker that had disappeared. She goes back. There's a flash of a match, and then the candle's lit. She quickly covers it with her hand to protect it.
Okay.
It's okay. They need the light. Margaret's here. She's gonna make it all better, but she has to see. We can't see in the dark like you. As she's cooing at something that you still can't see.
I'm getting the chicken ready. I think it's going to be our only protection. I'll get
The
the chicken
chicken.
ready.
I've got my shovel already, mate.
You guys haven't dealt with You haven't dealt with demonic cats before. It's definitely going to be better with the chicken than the Bible in this state.
I think so, aye.
So are you approaching with the chicken out, Margaret?
Armed with a shovel, a
Like
Bible,
very
and some
outreached
chicken.
arms. Yeah, very slowly.
Umbrella in one hand, Bible in the other.
Yeah, I'll very carefully go with the food. Reached out to see if I can lure it a little bit or get it to eat the food.
And Father Thomas is calling out a prayer to ward off against evil.
And how you said you're reading?
Well,
What?
yeah, I'll read something. It likes my voice. I'll start reading something as well. I'll read along from the Bible with the priest. With Thomas. Although I don't believe in any of the nonsense in it, I still know it word for word. Of course, it's a famous book. Of course, I know it word for word. I'll read along with the priest.
You understand the importance of religion and culture, so it's like you would know the major monotheistic religions. Yeah, absolutely. Because of this, you do not have to make any rolls.
Do we tell this thing the story of Sodom and Gomorrah?
As you approach Margaret with the chicken held out, Father
Music.
and Professor, you're saying this prayer. And it's funny because prayers are often spoken among the dead. So hearing a prayer would be very comforting to something that spends most of its time with the dead. Annalise is standing, still cooing, trying to get whatever it is, King Arthur, to come towards the light. And as nothing's happening, she moves towards King Arthur as all of you move forward. Margaret first with the chicken. And finally, the light gets close enough that it does illuminate a shape. As you can see, at first it seems warm and yellow, then you realize it's ashen gray skin. You see a shoulder, and for a split second, you're thinking, this is a man down here, before you begin to see things that look a little too odd. The shoulder blades are too pronounced. The spine seems to almost be pushing and trying to escape through decayed-looking skin. The arms, which are crossing itself as if this thing is hugging itself, just feel too long. The muscles, which are very prominent, just look wrong. And finally, as Annalise brings the candlelight up to the face, you see an elongated snout, no hair, bright yellow eyes, jagged, sharp teeth, pointed ears. One has been ripped off. There's all types of cuts and scrapes across this creature as it shivers in the corner, sniffing towards Margaret and her chicken. And he very tentatively leans forward, Margaret, and starts to pull the chicken bones off the plate.
Yep, I'll let him. But I'm going to tell everyone to keep calm, because...
Yep, I think it's time we all quietly backed away and found a new nursing home to live in.
Yeah.
An unholy demon on this
I
side.
think I'm only going to give it 3 stars
Reverend,
out of 5.
Reverend, we can't fight that thing. That's some powerful beast. Look at it. It's all sinew and muscle. It's all limbs and muscle. You
I
can't.
will have to inform Father O'Malley of this.
Oh, I'm going to...
You can't exercise that. That's an animal. But
the management must know about this because they've not buried any bodies here, right? So there's been less food, maybe.
So, Margaret,
They've been eating
please,
from the basement.
Margaret, you can give me first aid or medicine, whichever one you like. It'll just change how much information you get. Montgomery, please give me an anthropology roll. Father, please give me an intelligence. It's going to double as a clergy roll for you.
Okay.
Ooh,
Fuck off. I'm spending 6. I'll spend 6 luck.
I got a hard success. The medicine as well.
Margaret, this creature has thoroughly been whooped. You can see dark slashes across it, which look very much like claw marks. You can see its skin with...
Oh, that's a better one. Definitely screenshotting that one.
That's usually the one that I get.
Yeah, that's a good one. We'll make that one into an emoji. That's a belter.
Oh, that sweet coppery scent of blood. It looks like several things were attacking this creature. And the way that everything's on it, it looks like this creature was not well matched for whatever attacked it.
Ooh, so this thing might be help, like, protecting us a bit, right?
From
I
something
mean, like I said,
worse.
maybe ask Annalisa. I'm like, has King Arthur been protecting the home from something? Do you think? Did Ethel ever say anything to you about what he was doing?
Ethel has talked about how great King Arthur has been for the premises because he keeps it clean. He ensures that nothing bad comes around, and she's only said that nothing bad has come around. And you have noticed that cats haven't gone missing as much. There's been no animal carcasses stinking up the area. You think that she meant like foxes or something when
But
she
also
says
people
that.
aren't getting to bury their loved ones because it's eating their fucking corpses.
Yeah. But that
Montgomery.
means the management know about it.
I
That's
think
the
they do.
that's the
Yeah, I think they
scary
do.
bit.
I think they
But
do.
maybe for good reasons. We need to figure out the final plot.
No, we
twist,
don't.
I
We
think.
need to just leave and find somewhere else to live. That's fine. That's good enough
Because
ending for me, mate.
the Reverend's gonna do something silly and
Ah,
then
yeah,
we'll
it's
get
gonna
eaten.
fucking. He's gonna be like, the power of Christ compels you, and it's gonna
Yeah.
fucking just
Well,
eat his head.
He's
talking
he's
about
calling
the
out.
Reverend, you're looking at this thing. It is not a human. It's no animal that you're aware of.
Yeah.
However, it sits there. It looks quite dejected, but also it's not fleeing from you, and it seems to have no ill reaction to the prayer that you are saying right now. So it is not repelled by the holy word. And you do have your Bible out. Montgomery's holding it. It does not seem to be repelled by the Bible as well. So demon, maybe, but it's a demon that is not harmed by the word of God. Montgomery, you spent luck. So you know, in multiple cultures, there's all types of folk tales specific to certain cultures. And you know, when it comes to the dead, there's tales of revenants, there's tales of corpses being reanimated, and there's also certain tales in Europe of creatures that eat the dead. In some countries, the creatures were once human that became creatures of the night. In other cultures, it's just its own unique animal. But for the most part, in those cultures, in those fables, this is just a creature whose role is to eat the dead. Some fables, it became very popular during the Black Plague, where people would report seeing more and more of these creatures going through as the corpses were kind of piling up and taking corpses away.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing in a time like a Black Plague when you've got corpses piling up, making people more sick and making more people die. But you don't want it taking the corpses of little old people when they die. Just because we don't have no loved ones doesn't mean we should be food for this thing when we die.
So, do you say this out loud?
Yeah, we need to get out here and go phone the police. And they need to come in here with guns and shoot that thing till it's dead. I'm not going to try and kill it. I can't do it.
No, but think about it. This one got attacked by something that might be bigger. That means there's another one that doesn't like this one. So I'm scared this one might be protecting the home from the big bad.
Annalise leans forward and she kind of pulls King Arthur to her chest. So she's covering one ear and the other ear is pressed to her chest, and she just looks at you, Montgomery. Can I call the police? King Arthur is he is a member of this facility. He is part of the grounds. He tends to our cemetery. He keeps us safe. What are you talking about?
Safe from what?
How does he into the cemetery?
He has a role, and she looks to you, Father. Tell him he has a role in God's plan. Otherwise, why would he exist?
Well, in Psalm 74, there is talk about the head of the Leviathan being crushed and given as food for the creatures of the wild. If this thing is actually protecting us against the Leviathan, then it would be a creature of the wilderness.
She looks to you, Margaret.
Thank God for ChatGPT for me finding that stuff online.
Google
I was
Fu
like,
was strong
what?
there.
I was
Yeah.
like, David, well smart about religious shit.
Margaret, she looks to you and she's just like, you know that Ethel was a kind soul. She wouldn't be harboring something that was
True.
dangerous or something that shouldn't be here. You know this, Margaret.
And I'm like, before Ethel, did someone look after King Arthur? Like, does Annalise know? Like, has it always been Ethel? Is he like a new thing, or has he been in like a long, long time? Like,
He's
20 years.
relatively new. So you got the cemetery about a year ago. 2 years ago is when Ethel started talking about King Arthur, saying that she found a new cat.
Okay. So it is a new thing.
Mhm.
So maybe the cemetery is attracting undead creatures, but he's kind of like a nice one, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm 50-50. He's either really bad or he's actually really good. So it's up to you guys if you want to go like bang
Personally, it
with him.
doesn't matter. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. I'm moving to the other side of the country. I'm moving to California.
I mean, we are all old with no weapons. We're not going to be able to do that.
No, I'm not
much.
doing nothing about it, mate. I am leaving, and I'm going to go retire in California instead.
I will say that he has finished eating the chicken carcass.
Okay.
And he's now just licking the plate.
I might start moving back now. Now he's eaten. Yeah.
I'm leaving.
As Annalise looks up to all of you, so
I'm leaving.
what do we do? Margaret, what do you need to make him better?
I mean, a vet. I think he's more bestial than. I mean, can I do like a first aid check? Not like going up to him, but like assessing.
Is that a purring cat?
That would be a medicine roll.
They're all flesh wounds. You don't have to make a new roll. These appear to
Okay.
all be flesh wounds. You would have to put your hands on them to determine if anything had been broken or if there's anything more serious.
I looked at Annalise. What is it that gave this thing these wounds? What gave it these wounds?
She looks at you. She doesn't really like you right now, Montgomery.
I don't care.
But she like narrows her eyes and she just looks at you. Obviously, other cats.
Yep, more of these things. I mean, if someone gets me some more food, I'll try and patch the thing up. But I need a shitload of food for this thing to be distracted.
The Reverend reaches into his pocket and he offers the creature a crucifix, a small crucifix. Like, pique its interest and distract it.
You see it sees you put something forward, so it reaches forward and is sniffing at it. It's realizing it's not food, so it's leaning forward a little bit more just to see. And it just sniffs it, and it just kind of sits back onto its haunches. I need everybody to please roll me a listen. But Father, it doesn't appear to be in any way
Oh, my
upset
ears,
that-
man.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got enough. She's really good with listening.
Check
to
you out.
people. She's a proper nerd. She has
She's a proper
Mm,
nerd.
she's a nurse, like.
Well, with the storm going on, but Margaret, you're like trying to figure out ways of keeping all of this calm. You want to, Annalise is your friend. You have no idea what this thing is. Ethel was a friend. You're a little bit conflicted right now. So you're starting to like move away a little bit, and you can hear the doors close up at the top of the ramp.
Like it sounded like the wind did it, or like a person did it. Like, did it like just suddenly slam, or it more gradual?
It sounded gradual and deliberate.
Ooh.
And Father, as King Arthur starts to lean back, you can see that his glowing eyes suddenly shift and look past you. As he lets out a growl.
I strengthen my voice and continue reading Psalms from the Bible as I also turn around.
I'm backing up. I'm walking up the ramp to leave.
Harold, you go to turn to walk up the ramp, and in the darkness, in the shadows created by the candle, you get the distinct impression that there are 5 figures behind you, between you and the ramp.
So ahead of me if I turn around, you mean?
Correct. You turn around. Arthur's now at your back. You're now facing to go up the ramp, and on the ramp are 5 figures. You can barely make out in the candlelight.
People?
Maybe they look maybe like people.
That don't sound like people.
Who's there? We're just leaving. Don't mind us if you just get out of my way.
Montgomery, you feel something bump into your side as Arthur pushes in front of you.
Oh,
Alright, guys, 1 sec. Gotta put out the spider. There's a huge spider here.
Okay, I step out of
Gonna
its
put it
way as
outside.
soon as it touches me. I step well out of its way.
We're gonna let Dave get the spider. But
Can I shout out Ethel? Because there's 5 of them, right? So I'm going to say Ethel and see if any of them respond. Oh, do I not see this? Like the figures?
it's hard to see.
Hey, figures.
Hal just happened to step
Yeah, so
towards
say
them.
if
But now that
Oh,
you've
I'm-
turned, you can see something in the shadow.
I'm going to shout out Ethel and see if one responds. Oh no, I shouldn't say Ethel because there was... Oh no,
Yeah.
Ethel was buried. Maybe I should shout out all the other names. Walter.
You hear a growl back.
Walter was one of them.
You don't. Nothing seems to really respond to that right now. You can just hear Arthur is not happy, as there appears to be some type of dialogue now happening between the 5 in front of you and Arthur.
Oh.
Doesn't sound good.
And then Martin's frozen. Screenshot.
Annalise is standing by your side. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna wait for a Cinderella hour to pass from Martin.
I'm screenshotting them, it's fun.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna say Hal, Hal and Father, you guys are actually kind of like side by side. All right. Annalise is she's just you see her stand up. She just goes, okay, more cats. And she sees that she starts to step forward with her hand out. And she's shushing, cooing. It's okay. It's okay, Arthur, be calm.
I'm trying to get past them.
Hey, with Arthur.
You would have to walk through them, Hal, to go out up the ramp.
I'm going to try.
Yeah, you start to go forward, and as you start to go forward, there's a sudden flash of movement, and Annalise is snatched into the darkness. You hear her scream, which is quickly cut short as all of the forms start to pile on top of her. Arthur leaps forward, and it becomes a little bit hard to figure out what's going on. All you can hear are the muffled screams of Annalise and wet, crunchy sounds.
Yep, I'm running. I'm out here. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to run. Me too. I'm going to run as well.
I need a dexterity from Montgomery.
Of course you do.
Margaret, I'll need a dexterity from you. This is just to get around and through them. Margaret, you're going to have a penalty die because you're hurt.
So what is it? Dex?
Mm-hmm.
Dexterity.
But you have to do it with a penalty. So she did succeed, but with the penalty, it's whatever.
Just roll a d10, and this is the first dice. So you rolled a 32 and a 40. You succeeded.
Okay.
No, a 42.
No, 32 and a 42.
Oh.
Yeah, you would need to spend 2 luck.
Oh, I'll spend 2 luck to
Sorry, yeah, 32 and a 42.
succeed. Yeah. Oh, wait. Ignore that.
Reverend, what are you doing?
So where is King Arthur at?
I think it's fighting with the other
King
5.
Arthur is in front of you. He's on that shallow ramp,
Mhm.
trying to fight whatever has taken Annalise.
You need to press the edit button
And-
to change your luck, Martin.
And King Arthur is
Oh, I
distracting
did, yeah, I've done
all
that.
of the creatures at the ramp, or
They are between you and the doors. Hal has managed in the confusion to push past them, as has Margaret.
Goodbye, Reverend. Good luck.
I continue loudly reading from the Bible as I try to push myself past the battle as well.
Come on, Reverend. Run
You
for
need
it.
dexterity.
God's no saving you now,
Dexterity.
mate. Run, Reverend. Run. Run, you crazy old fool.
Can I use my luck?
39
What?
luck. Is
You
it?
can use luck.
Is it 39?
Oh,
It
wait,
is,
I
isn't
did
it?
a luck roll. So I need to
Wait,
decrease
you
my...
can spend luck. You
You
can
can-
spend luck.
Yeah.
You can
Or
either spend
roll your
luck,
best.
which is 39,
to-
or you can push
I'm
it.
going to spend it.
Do it.
5,
Do it at this
20.
point.
Okay,
Do
you,
it.
you start to push
Yeah.
through. The hem of your robe catches on a foot and pulls you for a second, but you're able to wrench free. You all get up to the top of the ramp, and Hal, you're swinging those doors open.
Okay, so I managed to get out as well. And
Yes,
I
you are
cast one more
outside now
look.
in the rain.
I cast one more look over my shoulder at the battle and at King Arthur, and I say, "May God be with you," as I try to run towards the door of the dormitory.
And you're not just leaving, I am leaving. I'm leaving the
So-
premises. I'm leaving the town. I'm leaving the county. I'm leaving the state. I might even leave the country and move to Mexico.
I hate to say this, but at this time, I'm so sorry, Dave. I need a luck roll from everybody.
Oh, come on now. Of course you do. Of course you do.
Fair enough.
Should have pushed it.
You were 60-year-olds in the 1920s. Health was not a thing for you back then.
Mm-hmm.
Margaret, I need one from you as well.
Okay. let's
Come on,
see.
Margaret. Let's survive this one.
Harold, you just run. You just run.
I'm out of here.
You just go and start running.
Oh.
Oh, Margaret didn't do too well, but it's not fumble at
Nope.
least.
Reverend and Margaret, you two are also running. Reverend, you're trying to get back towards your dormitory. Margaret, are you aiming for the building? Where are you aiming for?
I mean, I think it's gonna be safer for me to, yeah, get in the dormitory because it's closer. I mean, oh no, wait. It might be better for me to. The kitchen's the closest place, right? I might just pound on the kitchen door or just walk into the kitchen because there's food in there, so they might like eat the food. That's why I'm gonna head the kitchen
Okay.
door.
So Montgomery is running for it, trying his best to get out of there. There will be a roll for this, but we'll wait. Reverend and Margaret, you both attempt to run before something slams into the back of you. You each automatically take one loss of hit point from
Gone
the
down
force of this
7.
thing just hitting you.
Okay. One hit
Margaret,
point.
you feel a deeper crunch in your rib cage as something lands heavily on you. Reverend, the air is just knocked out of you as you're knocked to the ground. And you're
not
both
to-
flipped over,
Not to be a
looking
dick.
into
Not
faces
not
of death.
not to be a dick to everyone, but do we have to do sanity rolls for seeing these weird creatures, or are
Oh,
we cool because we get the
yeah,
kind
we
of cards?
We forgot
I didn't
about
wanna-
that.
I didn't want to be.
First.
Yeah, I didn't want to be a dick, but I'm like, are we maybe a bit like what?
Yeah, we forgot about that,
Yeah.
didn't we?
No, don't worry, because the sanity rolls won't matter if we don't get through some things first.
Okay,
Fair
okay.
enough. Yeah. So yeah, I've taken the hit point off.
Yeah, same here.
Whoa?
As faces significantly more desiccated and unfriendly than King Arthur stare down at you. Their faces now wet and glistening, covered and you know it's blood because it drips down onto you and you can taste it.
Nice.
At this time, I need all three of you to make sanity rolls.
Okay.
Oh. Ooh, David.
Okay. So, Harold and Margaret, please give me constitution rolls.
Oh, okay.
If you fail those rolls, you will have a cardiac episode.
Great.
Great. Got a fucking 35 constitution. Can I push it? Wait, do
You
I
can
have enough
absolutely push
luck? Wait, how much
I'm
luck is
gonna-
that? It's 42 luck, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use luck for
I'm
mine.
gonna spend my 42 luck.
I need 11 to succeed for mine.
I've spent 42 luck. I've
Father,
got 3
go ahead.
left.
Father, go ahead and give me a constitution roll. You have to roll a penalty die because of the
Okay.
sanity, adding an additional burden to your mind.
So a penalty die, where do I find that?
You just roll and then roll a 1d10, and this is your second tens dice.
Okay. So 1d10.
So you rolled an 11 and and an 88. Sorry, yeah, you rolled an 11 and an 81, so you take the 81.
Okay.
Oh. Reverend, this thing flips you over. You're looking into the face of death as bright green yellow eyes stare down at you with such a malice of death that you've never experienced before. And in your mind, this is what God sends down in his wrath. You're seeing one of God's angels that comes
Fallen
to reach
angels.
the dead. And you have interfered, and it's now come for you. This flashes through your mind as your heart gives out from what is happening, and you die on the spot. Heart attack.
Heart attack. Okay. That's the end of the Reverend.
Margaret, your heart is beating in your chest. You're having such a hard time breathing, but you are still surviving right now. This thing is on top of you. You can hear somebody else went down. Maybe the Reverend, maybe Hal, you're not sure. Margaret, please give me another luck roll.
Okay, 50-50 with the luck. No, not this time.
What are you going to do right now, Margaret?
I mean, she was trying to like get to the kitchen, which because it was quite close, so that's where she was trying to like. I don't know if I don't know what I guess I'd know, right? Is the kitchen door one that the back kitchen door left open, or would I know it's closed? Because if I knew it would be closed, I'd go to the dormitories. But if I thought it would be open, I would head to the kitchen.
You could surmise that it would still be unlocked.
Okay, well I'll head there because I know it's a lot closer. So, and I'll scream as well. Because there's people in the kitchen, so fingers crossed.
I'm going to make a roll.
Okay.
You scream, and unfortunately, you don't believe anybody heard you. Oh. My rain turned off. There we go. You scream, but you don't think anybody was able to hear you over the sound of the storm, but also because this creature lowers its face down to yours as you begin to scream with its mouth open, and it clamps down on your face and bites through your delicate jaw, silencing you.
No. Am I dead, or am I just really injured again?
I think you're dead.
Well,
Again.
I'm going to say this. You're at like 0.1 hit points.
I was gonna say I would imagine I'm not dead, but yeah, so I'll reduce that. I take 4 hit points. So I already got a major. Well, I've got a major wound, haven't I? So there's that
This is
another
a major
con.
wound.
So I
You have
need
to do
a
another
con.
constitution roll to see if you stay awake. I would recommend failing it.
You just had your
At
face
this point.
bitten off.
Really? Oh, I failed it anyway. I mean, I could use luck, but is it not worth using luck for this?
No.
Okay.
As you go unconscious, and therefore, unlike Annalise, you are not going to be awake as this thing rips you apart and eats you.
Oh, that's a nice thing.
Montgomery, Professor, you make it away. These things were distracted enough. They did not note the direction that you went into. You feel your heart pounding so hard as if it's going to leave your chest. But you continue on. How far do you run?
I hear Tijuana's nice.
Where do you run to?
West. Whatever's west.
The university is west.
I'll run to the university.
You run to the university. I'll need another constitution roll for the amount of effort you're putting out.
I'm gonna have to push it. I'm gonna have to push
Okay.
it.
Left.
I've got 3.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, wait, all done.
That final last bit of... I just remember how horrible that thing that I saw back there was, and it spurs me on to keep running.
You run, you make it to the campus. You're pushing harder, just out of instinct, trying to go back to your old office. Students see an old man flailing on the ground, trying to run, and they rush over, trying to see what's wrong, trying to help you as you collapse. An ambulance is called. Other professors come down. Some recognize you. Just like Professor Montgomery. What? And they're trying to figure out what's happening. You're brought to the hospital. You're treated for exhaustion. And you're treated for hallucinations. As they begin to ask you what went wrong, what's happening. And you try to explain what's going on, and do you say what happened?
I don't think so, because I'm scared of getting treated like a loony and thrown in a loony bin. I say nothing until I get out of the hospital, and then I move to Mexico.
Well, so the state that you were found in and your refusal or inability to appropriately articulate makes them very worried about your mental capacity. They think that you might be having some type of fit, and you can hear the doctors talking gently outside the door. You hear the word Alzheimer's said. You hear the word Pickman, which is an asylum that also houses those that require much more care than an almshouse can give.
No dear.
An old friend comes in looking very sad. He just gives you a small smile, gives you a book to read, and a little pat on the shoulder as he walks away, and just says, just in case you're still in there, just we're gonna move you to a new facility that can take care of you better. Okay, we're gonna make sure that they have books there for you. All right.
Coloring books.
After a couple of days of rest, Mr. Montgomery, you are escorted over to the Pickman Asylum. Given a proper room, you have free roam of your wing, where you spend the rest of your days reading. Silently, as you no longer read out loud. And that's the Almshouse.
Awesome, Birdie. I loved it.
That was fantastic, Birdie.
Y'all just left Annalise and King Arthur to die.
Absolutely. I'm just sorry Margaret and Thomas never made it out as well, eh?
Yeah.
I don't mind dying at the end. If you die at the end, I think that's fine. If
Yeah,
you die
exactly.
today,
That's a good one. 2 more for the
It
character
was a
graveyard.
great session, Birdie.
It was
Well, so one of
really
those luck
awesome,
rolls
Birdie.
was to see if King Arthur made it out to get to you, Margaret.
Aww.
So he
I mean,
didn't
I wanted to defend it, but I'm like, I'm an old lady with an umbrella with a broken hip. I'm like, I don't think I'll be defending you from
No, yeah.
whatever. So
That was
If I bought more
fantastic, Birdie.
chicken,
Well done.
I
That
bought
was really fun.
6 chickens for everyone. Could have sorted it out.
Hey, man. The
Eh.
problem is when you start having a society that's living longer, not dying as fast, and a big population died overseas, things that eat bodies start to go hungry.
Oh,
absolutely
yeah,
so.
that's so cool.
We were a buffet.
Fantastic. Well done,
Nice.
Birdie. Let me do a quick outro
Yeah,
and then we
loved
can
it.
say goodnight to Twitch as well. So,
And
Birdie, thank you.
If anyone's watching from a care home, don't have nightmares.
Yeah, sleep
don't
tight
sleep
tonight,
late.
folks.
If you
Sleep
happen-
well.
If you happen to be in a care
Hope your
home,
family
it's
loves you and you don't
What?
end up in a
Yeah.
care home when you get older. Yeah.
fine.
Hey, go to your
Leave
local
some
shelter.
food for
Go to
Mark.
your local shelter,
Oh, yeah.
get yourself your own King Arthur, and
Adopt
then
a
go
cat.
down to your senior citizens home and volunteer and just play some Texas Hold'em poker with them. Just one
Okay.
afternoon a week. Come on, man.
And
These
don't-
people are dealing with
don't-
fools. They're alone.
Don't go in the basement.
Don't go
though.
in the basement, though.
Don't go in the basement.
Stay out of the boiler room.
Thank you very much, Birdie. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I loved it.
Thank you, Martin and
you.
David, for playing with me. Sorry you guys died,
No problem
but
at all.
it was a lot of fun. Thank you, viewers on YouTube, watching this in about a week's time when it makes it there. Thank you very much. We love you. Stay tuned for more Call of Cthulhu, because we'll never stop playing this. This is the favourite. I am RxOliver. These are my friends. This was Call of Cthulhu, the Almshouse. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.